Or there's a green screen or something.
He's gonna like come back like, what about my green screen?
Well, he'll probably be watching and just there you go.
Probably. But what's going on, guys? Welcome to episode number 36 of My Cup of Tea. We are joined by a very special guest today. Joining us, we have Emma.
Hi, guys. Thanks for having me back. I don't know why I'm continually here, but I appreciate you all.
And also joining us, we have Evan.
Yeah, glad to be back. I feel like this show went by so fast. We're on our finale episode of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. 6 weeks gone so soon. But this was another
one day.
yeah, or in her case, one day. But yeah, it was another solid show from the MCU. We are in April, and we've already finished 2 MCU shows, and we got more to come just this year alone. I think possibly 3 more in 2021 alone. So very exciting.
Phase 4. Yeah. So just to preface, where's Carson? Driving. He's a little preoccupied at the moment. Will he show up? It's a mystery to all. But we'll see. But yeah, we're gonna be discussing the finale. Hello. It's always nice to have a viewer.
Hi, Wolfman.
Hello.
Okay. So we'll get into like talking about the entire finale, but actually I want to gauge Emma, because you said you viewed the whole thing in one day today for the first time. How did that go?
I did. Well, I tweeted about it. A lot of people enjoyed my roller coaster ride there. I really like this show. I wasn't sure about it because I didn't hear a lot about it on Twitter, because with Wanda it was like everywhere. This one I think was a bit more low key, except for that Zemo gift that I saw everywhere. Yeah, which I did enjoy. But I really liked watching it all in one day. I mean, it was a lot, but it's all fresh in my mind. I have a lot of thoughts. I guess we're only talking about the finale, but it was a solid show. I really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah, we're gonna have like a full retrospect since the season's over.
Yeah.
I really, really enjoyed it. I mean, I just love Bucky. I think most girls do, but and then it was so nice getting to meet more of Sam, because I mean, I always really liked him, but I don't think we really got the chance to get to really know his character. So it was cool meeting his fam, and I like seeing that side of him. And I mean, their acting was just astounding. Like both of Bucky's breakdowns and then Sam's speeches, unbelievable. So it was a really, really good show.
Yeah, it's interesting that you watched it all in one day, because one of my main criticisms, but also like praises for the show, that it feels so cinematic straight from the episode 1. It feels so cinematic, more so than WandaVision. WandaVision, the thing I liked about it was like each episode gave us something incredible to talk about each week, which you were talking about. Like goes on Twitter, every end of the episode for WandaVision, there was something incredible, something to latch on to, whether it was lame theories or just something emotional happening every episode. This one felt more cinematic in the sense that they didn't feel like actual television episodes. It just felt like a chunk of a movie, which why it's towards the middle of the season. Some people were like, it's getting kind of like stale a little bit. They're just walking around Madripoor. They're just walking around Venice while beating up some flag smashers. But overall, I think I enjoyed the season a lot, especially the finale. In the finale, it wasn't over the top. It didn't do anything crazy like WandaVision did. It really just nailed like its tone and its direction for the entire series. It's very in line with what we saw before, with some nice teases for the possible future of the MCU.
Yeah. No, I that makes sense though. I didn't think of it that way, but it definitely felt more like I was watching a movie for sure. And I think also WandaVision brought in like all of the aspects of old school TV. So it was just very much a TV show.
Yeah.
But you're right. This one was more like watching like a 6-hour movie almost. I didn't find any of it boring when I binged it though, to be honest. Literally it just kept pace for me.
Mm-hmm.
I did have one issue with the finale, but that was it. I really, really enjoyed everything else.
Yeah, I had some issues too in terms of like the good old Seinfeld, yada yada yada, in terms of a lot of Sharon Carter's develelment.
And, I knew as soon as like it played out, I was like, Evan's going to.
I was just laughing the entire time. I was like, okay, cool, let's go along with it. I don't really dig it, but okay, cool, Sure,
Well, I
whatever.
think WandaVision also had a lot more like theories. Like we literally had no idea what was happening, whereas this one just felt like it was very much a continuation of the film. So it was like right after the film. We knew these characters so well.
I think the one theory, like anybody was like really, like if they were trying to have theories, was just like, who's the power broker? But I was just like,
that was it.
I don't care. I'm just like, I'm here for Sam and Buggy. I just power broker, whoever. It could be someone random. Cool. But
well, the interesting thing I think was also that I mean, WandaVision, you didn't know what the through plot line was. You were trying to figure it out, but it had like one. Whereas this one, there was the power broker, then there was that French dude that was working with the power broker, and there was the Carly and them, and then there was the government. So it was like a lot of different fights happening all at one time. So it did feel like a lot more like a movie for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I was tweeting Nathan about that. I thought that the power broker was either Sam's army friend or Sharon. Then I thought it was Val for a bit, but it ended up.
Yeah, Emma DM'd me. She was saying like, Toro seems kind of sketchy, and I'm like, everyone has been thirsting on the timeline for this man, and you are the one person in the world I've heard accuse this man.
Yeah, as soon as episode 1 dropped, my brother and I looked at each other like, "Oh, Torres is evil, right?" But then
really?
by the end,
he wasn't the only one.
By the end of the episode, though, I'm like, okay, he seemed kind of like one of those loony, just like, "Hey, I'm Falcon's buddy."
Maybe it's because like Twitter. Maybe it's because Twitter
is so good, and he always showed up at all the moments, and I was like, I don't know if I can trust it yet.
After a while, I was like, okay, this guy's just pretty good.
Yeah, maybe it was maybe just because like I'm on comic book Twitter and they all know like Taurus comics next Falcon, but
right, yeah, no, I haven't read the comics.
That's fair, but that's why it was so cool when like he left in the wings. I was like, oh
yeah, next time.
next it's a War Machine moment. Oh, it's so good. But yeah, let's discuss the finale like beat for beat. In traditional Disney Plus show fashion, the last episode is the climax of the movie, like right from the jump.
Yes, and you'll have to take me through this, Nathan, because I watched all of them today, so I'm a little bit. I don't know what happened in the like weird, but like I'm like, which episode ended when?
Right. Well, new suit basically is where we're kicking off.
Amazing.
I need to talk about that because it's so good. It's
a
so
great
comic
suit.
accurate. It's
really good.
It's almost like sensory overload that it's so comic accurate that I'm like, am I really living in like this timeline that like we can do this? I mean, it's just like wow, it's like for like the page, and it looks so good, and it's just like it's so fulfilling to see Sam as Captain America and like address not only himself as such, but seeing the public do so. It's just like we're finally here. That's all I wanted.
Yeah, I like the beginning of this episode a lot. It picks up a couple moments after the previous episode where it seems like the army people are already positioned outside. Klaxons blaring out in the senator's room. People are just like sitting there still. I'm like, yeah, should have. At that point, red lights are going off. People are wearing masks. I'm like, I figured I'm dead if I'm in that room, which is pretty funny. And then we saw Sharon before Cap comes in. We saw Sharon with the Mission Impossible mask from Winter Soldier, which is pretty cool. Haven't seen that in a while. But yeah, overall, yeah, I love Cap's entrance here. Great outfit. I theorized this is part of my predictions I posted last night. I'm like, we're gonna see Cap in his new white, blue, and red comic book outfit, and it was beautiful. I absolutely loved it. Like Nathan said, ripped from the page. Marvel's very good at doing that, so I loved it.
Yeah, I agree. It was a solid suit. It was amazing. As soon as that clip ended at the episode before, I was like, oh, it's the suit, isn't it? And then it opened with it.
You didn't have to wait a week.
I didn't.
That's always the benefit of a binge, I suppose. Like, and I guess, like, yeah, that's what, especially like if it's like a beloved series, like so long. Like, I remember, like, I was binging Breaking Bad, and it was like, damn, there's a movie right around the corner, and like you all had to wait like 5 years. That sucks. Like,
yeah, for Breaking Bad, I think I binged like the 4 seasons, and then I watched the 5th season live, and that was a trip on its own. Yeah, best show of all time. But
yeah, it's so good the way everything was going. Everybody's like doing their own thing. It's tough to like just hit beat for beat because a lot of it is just like action and action.
Yeah, like my notes are just like, oh, this person enters the scene.
They punch. Like
Valtrak comes in immediately to greet Sam as soon as Sam comes into the like top floor of the Senate building. I'm like, okay, Valtrak's not the most interesting character in the world. For some reason, he wants to kill Sam because Sam ruined his payday in episode 1. I'm like, okay.
That whole fight scene, I was just like, dude, we don't have time for you. Like,
Not
we
at
just
all.
don't have time for you.
I'm here to watch Sam do his gymnastics that he's been practicing.
I mean, yeah, that was cool. But even if I was Sam, I'd be like, okay, but I gotta go get them. Like, can we just not do this right now?
That's true. I mean, he's a world criminal, but yeah.
He's no match for Sam. This is not. We can do it later.
No, we know. We know.
It was funny because I think Valtrak is a better fighter than Sam, but this episode was a great showcase of what Sam's new, basically what his new Cap outfit can do. Like the first 30 minutes is just everything showing what a new ability Sam has, and he was doing pretty well going against.
Yeah, because he doesn't have a serum, so he's got to rely on that, and it's very creative the way he does. I mean, and a lot of great shield work too, like
beautiful,
and like more like his own style. It doesn't feel like he's like really copying Steve's stuff. He's got like his own tricks.
Yeah,
which I really like. But yeah, I don't know. I guess like we could just like get to like when John enters the fold.
Wow, I feel like there's some.
Hate this man. I hate him with a passion. I wish he would. I wish he died. Okay,
that was an interesting thing. It's just like the journey with John, which we're going to talk about. But I really thought he was gonna. I didn't think he'd die, but I thought he was going to be like arrested villainously and saved for later.
I wanted him to die.
Yeah. I forget what I had in my predictions. I'm like, I figured he might go to the raft when he gets back out in the public. But I figured, like, we've been saying this since the promotional material. This guy is U.S. agent. He's going to be doing some co-op, some under the books missions for the U.S. government. At least in this case, it's going to be under Val, not the U.S. government. But yeah. I didn't expect him to get arrested. I did expect him to maybe go to the raft or something like that, or something, get part of a group. But yeah, he seems to be just chilling. We'll see.
Yeah, Emma. So like again, like this is comic stuff, but like we were anticipating. There's a team called the Thunderbolts that Thunderbolt Ross builds in the comics. The general dude who's obsessed with Hulk, and
yeah, he was the guy from Civil War who was showing them like, Tony, you have to follow the book, the Sokovia Accords.
Oh yeah, okay.
The guy with the golf thing.
Right.
Old grandpa playing golf.
Yeah.
I didn't know what else to do.
But yeah, like we were expecting that like since Zemo's in the raft, they're gonna take Walker there too, and like he would join that team as well. Because also, and to fuel that theory, okay, this was another example of a theory, I guess. The character Val, she was before the whole COVID realignment of the Marvel release dates, Black Widow was supposed to release first, and she's supposed to be introduced in that first, and Falcon Winter Soldier was going to be released right after. And we know in the trailers, Ross, a younger version of himself, is also in the Black Widow film.
Mm-hmm.
So we thought in that connection, since she's talking with Walker, this team will build. But of course, none of this pans out. We need to stop theorizing.
I was surprised. I mean, that's the beauty of theories. For the beginning of the series, I'm like, okay, they're talking about the serum. Thunderbolt Ross might be in charge of the serum because he's involved with the Hulk stuff. We are getting a She-Hulk series, so they could be tying all this in with the serums and everything. Thunderbolt Ross has zero mention, zero cameos in this episode, so I was completely wrong. But it was fun to theorize about. I thought at least they would free Zemo, but he's just chilling in the raft once again.
I mean, he was
great. I loved having his character there. Yeah. Fantastic character.
Love Zemo. Daniel Bruhl can do no wrong. He's great.
So good.
He's like he was already like one of my favorite villains from Civil War, but like it's just like fleshing him out more. It was just like, wow, this guy's. He's evil, but he's fun. Like,
I love that he's like, oh yeah, I was rich, and then you just
go with it.
On the planes.
Yeah, he's a baron.
Yeah, so good.
I remember in 2016, people did not like Zemo. I think after Civil War, people were like, "Oh, Zemo's such a lame villain. He's just a guy who ordered the Avengers around on his cell phone and stuff." I'm like, "Are you kidding me?"
That's why he's so good. He didn't have to punch. Like
exactly.
Yeah, I didn't like him in Civil War. Like, I mean, I didn't.
I loved him.
I didn't hate him. but he was an okay villain. He was standard.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But he was really fun in this one. I really yes, I really liked him. Like Agatha is fun. Like I think there's a big difference between villains that you just absolutely hate and then villains that are fun but you hate them. You know, like
Exactly.
they're really fun to watch and you're kind of rooting for them almost, but they're really bad too.
Totally. I think the MCU knows what they got there. Like Wolfman said, they're fan favorites now. Agatha survived WandaVision. They're of course going to be used for later in a new
and Zemo's
series.
still there.
And Zemo is still there, so we'll probably see him in a new movie, maybe the Captain America movie coming out, or a new TV show. You never know. So very exciting.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about it later. But I'm oh my god, so happy that they have greenlit Captain America 4 or just a new Captain America film with Sam.
I saw that on Twitter. That's crazy.
So fast. I know, right? That's crazy.
So fast. It must have been like planned before the ended, but they were just like, this is going good, but it's just like, oh my god. So, because this is what I want. I was like, I know like a lot of people were saying, like, will we get a season 2? And I'm like, but I want him to shine on the big screen.
Yeah. And I always felt like a TV series would be so weird for season 2. What do we call it? Captain America and Winter Soldier? It's a long title. What is this? High School Musical? The musical, the series?
It already sounds like an existing movie.
That is a gem of a series. Don't knock it. Okay,
it is a fun show. I watched season 1. Pretty good.
It is fantastic.
I'm excited for season 2. But yeah, so I was like, I'm so glad they're not going to do a TV, especially because they have like 10 series in development right now. I'm like. Yeah. Let some new fresh series get in development. Let's get a new movie in the works because I think Sam deserves at least one Captain America movie, hopefully a trilogy. You never know.
I agree.
I think they also
the TV series just in between to further the story. I like how they're doing that.
I think they are also reports were saying that the screenwriter for this show is going to be penning the script for the movie.
Yeah, Michael Spellman, I think is his name. Something Spellman.
Yeah,
I would like that. This one was good.
Yeah,
especially every Sam moment. God,
yeah, Sam killed it this episode.
We have to talk about that speech too, but I don't think we're there yet.
Oh yeah, no, but yeah. In general, Sam's been in this role for a very long time. I think 2014. So he'll be going on for a couple. By the time his movie comes out, he'll be in as Sam for 10 years, so over a decade, which is incredible. Even longer for Bucky.
Yeah, that's so good. Yeah, there's a lot of in-between moments. Like, I remember, Sharon bumped into that dude in the parking garage and then just, melted him. And I'm like, Sharon, why are you so evil?
I mean, I didn't mind that part. He was pretty bad, too.
And also out of left field, though. It's like, she's like a government agent. She is hardcore. We saw in Madripoor. Like, she was stabbing people, shooting people in the face.
I'm just fully confused about her story. Like, what is her
end game? They don't care.
Evan, you want to take it away?
They don't care. We don't care. I'll wait for it. I'll wait till the weird.
Well, we have to, but I'm just like, why? Yeah, why did she call in the French dude? Like, if she's not mad at the Avengers, is she just mad at the government?
Yes. Okay. She was mad about people in charge. She felt. I forget. She had some weird quote saying like, she had no or she's trying to go against the people in charge by being in charge herself of stuff that is in her control.
Like Carly was kind of talking to her about that.
Yeah, I'm like,
I mean, honestly, if she's against the government, then I kind of back her.
Yeah, really. That's
but she's also feeling like villains,
so. Yeah, it's so weird.
Well, I mean, as long as it doesn't hurt my children in the Avengers, then I'm fine.
If other people die, it's fine. It's like my favorite people.
Well, okay, but if government people die, I'm like,
sure.
We'll pardon it. It's fine. Just don't hurt Bucky or Sam. That's all I care about.
True.
But yeah, the whole mercury vapor scene was very weird because they're all tracking people down. It's all intense stuff. Then all of a sudden, the guy just explodes. His face melts. I'm like, oh wow, okay. I think Sharon probably has a bigger kill count than anybody in this freaking finale. I was like, okay, damn. Okay, sure.
I think she does actually.
I mean, that and the butler. I think the butler probably beat Sharon there.
I didn't realize that was Zemo's butler. I was like,
that was so good.
That was so random. I was laughing so hard about that. Am I supposed to laugh right now? I kind of am. It's pretty hilarious.
It was pretty hilarious. It was hilarious. It was a good one. Yeah.
But before the Bucky scene, or not the Bucky, the Walker scene, we also missed the beginning of the flight sequence with Falcon. So Falcon,
that's great.
Falcon has to go chase the guy in the helicopter while Bucky tries to chase after Carly in the trucks. Kind of got your air and ground battles there. And Sam's at least the beginning here of the flight sequence was incredible. I mean, the guy driving the helicopter, what is this, GTA? Like, this guy is flying all over the place. I'm like, if I'm in the helicopter, I'm dead from whiplash or whatever. I'm like, this guy
he came straight from Fast and the Furious. Like, he knew what he was doing with that helicopter.
Exactly. I was like, call Dominic Toretto, because this guy is going all over the place. It was insane. I'm like, this guy is like, wow. I'm like,
he was an impressive pilot, that man.
Very impressive.
I don't know where he learned that from, but
yeah, he was clipping Falcon, going under bridges. I'm like,
and he was shooting at him while his drone was flying. That was crazy.
It was really funny.
I think he took down. Didn't he take down like 2 helicopters, right?
Yeah, and he clipped another helicopter, which I don't know what the helicopter was doing. I was like, oh, but I looked at things. I'm like,
yeah, that police officer did not know how to fly a helicopter.
Did not know. Yeah, they're just chilling. I'm like, there's a huge air battle here.
But it was a cool save sequence when he like covers the dude on the bridge with the wings.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah,
and then, everyone, and then as soon as I saw the people like clapping, I'm like, yes, public eye, Captain America.
Yeah, I looked at my notes as well.
He saves the people too, and they all thank him.
Yes,
my heart.
Yes, it's so good.
That was so good.
It was so nice. Having his own Civil War moment, like pulling the truck, like when Steve was pulling the helicopter.
Yeah,
that was really good.
Yeah, I love the entire flight sequence as well. Yeah, and then Bucky gets a lot of cool moments as well during his fight sequence too. Using vibranium to their advantage. Just awesome. Like, I mean, Falcon's new Captain America suit with vibranium wings, maybe more vibranium on his like armor as well, maybe. Something like this guy seems pretty unstoppable, even if he doesn't have the super soldier serum.
Yeah. No, yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah. Is that when Walker comes in?
Yeah, I think Walker comes in because Carly straight up burns the car to distract Bucky. So Bucky goes in to help the people burning in the car, and that's when Walker comes in with the kind of a
Home Depot shield.
Yeah, his Home Depot shield and his warped version. I called it like the warped version of the hero's entrance, because usually when hero walks in, like in like a New York City battles, like the lights are shining on them and they're super like hyped up. But for Walker, whenever the camera work showcases Walker, they always show him as an angle, trying to show like how distorted like Walker kind of is. He's like, Carly, I've been looking for you. Like he's always so demented. I'm like, okay, this guy is just crazy. Which Walker is an interesting character. He's a crazy character, but he's also like, he's not evil. Like he's doing this because he thinks he's trying to protect people. Granted, Carly is deemed an enemy of the United States, so he's trying to both get revenge and also like defeat the Flag Smashers, continue his mission. So
I hate it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, and you can.
I love to hate him.
Yeah.
I don't love to hate. I just hate him.
Okay.
I just like Zemo. I'll watch more of him. He's fun. He's interesting.
So you're like infuriated when he's on screen?
Cool, low key. Yeah, I can get on board with a lot of villains. Not this guy. First of all, the absolute disrespect to Cap in the first place. How dare you?
Oh my god, yeah. Wait.
He looks like he came from the dollar store. Okay.
Yes. Wait, I actually need to.
3 medals of honor. Come on now.
No, wait. Yeah. This is your first time watching. Yeah. How'd you feel when he publicly executed not the murderer and it got blood on the shield in like episode 4? How'd you feel?
Oh, it was painful. The absolute disrespect. I felt like that gif of Mushu where he's like, dishonor on you, dishonor on your cow, dishonor on the family. I was like, Steve would be rolling in his grave right now. You horrible
he probably is.
being. Oh,
wait, this is an interesting question. Hayward or Walker, who's worse?
Ooh, Hayward.
That man did fire at children.
He died at children for no reason. I'm like, what is happening here? He's like, I can't. The guy is insane.
I know, really like we spent more time with Walker being like crazy.
All right. I think morally, I think Hayward is worse, but I hate Walker more than I hate Hayward.
One guy. Walker killed one guy. Because he killed Lamar Hopkins.
I know, but
that guy didn't kill Lamar.
Oh yeah, true. You're right.
I mean, I hate them both, but if I had to rank them, I think I think I hate Walker more.
It's
I
an
don't
interesting
like
thing.
that he. I don't like what he did for Cap. I don't like it.
Yeah.
And he put what he put Bucky and Sam through when he took that shield up. I don't know, maybe because I watched it in one day, but the whole thing just to watch him absolutely shit on Cap's legacy, then kill someone in cold blood, still thinking he's correct.
Yeah.
And then they gave him a redemption arc. No, take it away.
Well,
Whereas
it's interesting.
at least Hayward went to jail. And I'm sorry, but Wanda was easily taking him. Like
it's interesting because like if you're watching week to week to episode 5, you feel like, oh, they're just going straight villain with Walker, and then the finale happens, and you're like,
yes, I was so mad. I want him to die. I hate him.
I want to talk about this right now because it's very interesting because people are saying they gave Walker a redemption arc. I mean,
I don't know if it's a full redemption.
I don't think it's so confusing, and this is a complaint I have for the episode because tonally, in terms of like the audience's view of Walker, they tried to give him a redemption arc in the sense that he was jogging with the heroes, he's tracking down the villains with the heroes afterwards.
I hated that.
He saves them, and then he gets like a comedic post-credit scene with Val, and it's like very like, oh, it's just black, and it's like the wife's in there too. I'm like,
I think
this is a bad scenario that's happening right now.
It is, but I think it just feels like
it just feels so.
Like it's like I feel like it matches Walker's mindset though.
It does. It totally does. Where he thinks he's doing something good, but it's also like you're still bad. Dude.
You still have some screws loose.
You can't walk. I mean, he technically can walk in public. He's not under arrest. He's just been stripped of everything, so he's able to just walk free.
What our friends had to go through for this, like a Covian Accords. Excuse me, you're just gonna let this guy leave?
Yeah. It was so weird. But also I'm happy that they didn't make him a full villain because he's not. Like the show set him up to be like this guy isn't a villain. Like what I liked about episode 2, at least the beginning of episode 2, when we introduced Walker, is like he's sitting in the locker room before he goes out to the press, and he's worried with Lamar, and he's saying like, I have a lot of this pressure. I'm about to go out to my high school gym here, and I don't think I can be Captain America. There's a lot of pressure. So he's a I don't want to say he's a good guy.
I don't think that was the interesting thing about this series. I don't think there was a full villain, maybe the French guy.
Yeah,
but I don't think there really was a full villain here because I think Zemo is he's a likable villain. He's like Loki. Like he's a villain, but I could see him coming back, being something fun, being almost like the Suicide Squad. And then you've got Sharon, who like Sharon and Carly, I'm kind of on their side. Sharon. Like they're fighting the good fight. They might be doing it incorrectly, but that's like the Arrow, like Batman versus Superman thing. Mm-hmm. But this guy, like I don't think he's a full villain. I just think he's an idiot. Like the very fact that our like Bucky and Sam had to constantly save him every time he was on screen, I was like, oh great, we got to save this idiot again. Like I just want someone to kill him because he's just like a waste of space on Earth.
Wow, that is. That is a hot topic. Hot
I mean, yeah, he's very much a character. He's trying to prove his worth, and he's got some complex for sure.
Yeah, he's trying to prove his worth. I liked his character a lot in terms of his psychology. In terms of like one of my favorite lines from the series last week, where he says like, "You made me." When he's talking about like the military and the senator.
He was not wrong about that.
He's not wrong. So he was groomed to be like this. I'm not saying everybody in the military is groomed. It's complicated. But anyways, it's like I understood where Walker was coming from. Like his whole identity was bled into the military. Hence why he bled the metal into the shield. Like he's been bred for this.
I mean, to be fair though, he still made that choice to kill that dude.
1000%. And he's lucky that he had a Captain America suit on, otherwise he would go into jail. But accepted that he had a government position, they're like, okay, because he had a government position, because like basically he had a badge, then we're not going to arrest you. We're just going to
real world politics.
Yeah,
I guess. Okay, I guess the main villain was the government in the story.
The system, the GRC, the government, in a sense, like they were pretty antagonistic in this entire series.
I love Sam's speech later.
Loved it.
Iconic, so good, fantastic.
So yeah, I don't think he was fully redeemed, but he was also. It was difficult task they had to get.
All his benefits are coming from Val, who's very sketchy.
Yeah, like all his like stuff. He's not walking away scot free. He's just still like Emma just said. Like he's kind of going to be a Suicide Squad kind of character where he's working for a morally gray government agent, which is Val, Julia Louis-Dreyfus' character, and going to presumably perform under the radar missions as U.S. agent. Like she said in the finale, she's like, we don't need Captain America for the jobs that I have for you, stuff like that. So like he's gonna be doing stuff low key, and his wife is like okay with it, I guess, which is super weird.
I'm sure she's not filled in on everything.
Maybe not. What is she filled on in? Then it was so confusing. I'm like, girl, you know you're in. This is a bad situation, right? And she's like,
girl, divorce him. What are you doing?
She's just looking back and forth, like, oh, this is so funny.
Why like you sat in that corner when he had that outburst? Like that was
yeah. Like I was
really cray.
He's crazy. I was fully expecting a scene where they were going to have some kind of argument, like some kind of like husband and wife.
They must have been
argument.
together for a while or something.
And then,
like, I think Val they had. They're like high school.
And the wife's there when Val shows up, and she's totally sketch, and she's just like, "Sure, you send my husband on missions now."
Right. So I'm like, how is he going to pay the bills? Anyways, okay. And Val must be giving this guy a good paycheck.
Maybe Val pays well.
Maybe, yeah. That's what I presume.
Probably.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the incentive for it to stay.
Yeah, she can't afford an actual government card, but she can afford actual paychecks.
She's like, my crazy husband is gone on missions all the time, and I get money. Okay, maybe I'll divorce him.
Unmarked bills.
Yeah, but I would have loved for her character to have some kind of argument, some kind of scene with Walker one-on-one.
Her was absolutely useless. Like,
yeah, she was looking back and forth, like, I wonder what's going on. But
I'm sure that was like a sense to like another element to ground John. It was more like
they're trying to make it more MCU relatable-ish, where like, hey, here's a joke in between every other sentence. So yeah, I mean,
I just hate that we have to see more of him. I really don't like him. I really don't.
I hope he's the next. He gets his own standalone movie, and Emma's gonna be first in line to see it.
She'll skip it.
Yeah, I would not watch that. She'd
be like, I don't care about the MC rules. I'm not watching them.
No.
What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. So besides the whole Walker fight, I liked the whole part where the car gets not flipped, but nearly falls over. I feel like that was a turning point for a lot of characters.
I was shocked Walker chose to say that. I thought he was just gonna go.
That's what I hated. Yes.
See, I wasn't surprised because I'm like, part of me was like, okay, Walker is obsessed with Carly right now, but there's still people in danger. He's still, in his mind, wants to complete the mission, which is to like defeat the Flag Smashers and rescue people. So I feel like he's just a very brutal version. So of course he's going to be distracted at first, but I felt like he eventually is going to come to his senses a little bit. Like this guy isn't a homicidal maniac. Like he has some heart in him. A little bit.
Emma's just there, like,
I know. I'm trying to.
She's like, I understand, but no.
I understand, but I think it's just I'm so attached to Steve that he just disrespected him so much and put my faves through pain that I'm like, I can't like you. I don't care if they give me a redemption arc for you. I'm not gonna like you.
Oh, I guarantee, like the majority hate is like has a big percentage fueled because he's wearing the stars and stripes and the shield for sure.
If he had come in as another character, I think I could have handled it. I still don't think
he was U.S. agent from the start.
but just no, I can't do that. It's like if a TV show tries to replace one of my favorite characters when they kill someone off or leave someone, I'm like, no, leave it alone.
I think I agree, and I think you're like definitely supposed to feel that way. I mean, like right from the jump when I saw him like run out to the field in like the new suit, I was like, it just looks wrong. Like not just the way he's fitting in the cowl, which is awful, but like just the designs and stuff. I'm like, that's not the A. That's not the way the stripes go. That's awful.
It's just like they commodified Captain America and everything he stood for, and it's just
they made him a product.
I just wanted to throw up, which is not the same way I feel about Sam. Sam, I'm like, yes, take it. But I think that's because Steve approved of Sam. And like he passed that mantle on. So yes, I understand where they're coming from.
Not once have I seen Steve sign an autograph for a mass public. He's just like, he'll be like a kid will spot him and he'll just be like, So that's it. But
I will say the one thing I really wished that they had put a line in for was I was just waiting for Bucky or Sam to say something to him where like, you're not Steve, you're not Captain America, and I wanted that to break him.
He did in the second. He's like, just because you have that shield doesn't make you Captain America.
Yeah, you're not Steve. He's like, oh.
When they were like walking on the road.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know. I feel like that line should have been more impactful. I was waiting for something like that.
Rip apart Walker more.
Yes.
It was just interesting throughout the series. He kept going into buildings saying like, I am Captain America. And Steve is always just like, I'm Steve Rogers. Like, he never calls himself, I'm Captain America. It's like, I'm Steve Rogers, we're here to rescue you. Something like that. He'll never say.
That's my favorite thing with heroes is when they're just like, they're not saying the hero names. They're just saying their real names. I'm just like, yes.
Exactly.
It's so much more personal.
Also, can I say when just going back to the finale, when Falcon is coming down with Carly and he's flying with the wings and he's holding her, I just had a moment of like, oh man, if Peter Parker could just capture this. I was like, that's front page news.
It is.
Such a great shot.
Was one of my favorite shots I've maybe seen in the MCU because it's just like because it's a long shot flowing. It's very angelic. Wings.
Very good.
So good.
Yeah, that was a good one.
How to frame video.
Cotton 4K.
Okay.
But yeah, I felt like that was a good turning point for Walker, even though like, it is kind of abrupt. But I totally agree. But I think it was like they had to do something for his character. They knew where they were wanting to. I think they had an endpoint for Walker where it's like, okay, he had to be U.S. agent. So like, how do we kind of get there in like just the finale? So they kind of had to rush it. But also Falcon, like we talked about earlier, gets his awesome superhero moment where he comes in and they wheel in on the shield first, and then they zoom out on him like picking up the car. People always complain. I was having an argument today at work. They're like, this guy who never watched Captain America or watched the series before, he was like, how is Falcon Captain America but doesn't have any superpowers? I'm like, you don't need superpowers to have the shield. And I think this episode really emphasized that, where he's literally lifting up a car without having to see her.
Honestly, I never even thought of Steve as having powers. Like, I know he had super strength, but like I've never really thought of it in my mind as superpowers because you have people like Doctor Strange and like Peter. Like, it just doesn't. I don't know.
Steve's superpower is good.
Like
the serum amplifies that. Like,
So I'm with that. Yeah.
And then along Carly's standpoint, I think when the car's tipping over, Carly just straight up like that was a turning point for her character, I guess, in a darker way, because she wanted to send a message by saying like, if we kill people, then the world will get a bigger message. Which goes in line with a lot of the complaints I had towards Carly and the whole like Flag Smashers in general. They seem to have like a very simple message. It was just never really fleshed out as much as I really wanted the Flag Smashers to be. I kind of understood like from the jump, we kind of all understand where the Flag Smashers are coming from. Like the Relocation Act sounds very shitty. It's bad to get kicked out of your homes or kicked out of where you were during the blip just for the people that resurface to take control and take ownership of everything that you previously had. So I understood where the Flag Smashers are coming from. I just wish Carly and the Flag Smashers just had a little bit more depth throughout this entire series and not killed off.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
At least for Carly. I don't care about the other ones.
I like Carly.
Me too.
That was a bummer when she died. But also she was gonna kill Sam, so I guess I get it. But
it's a bummer for Carly's character for sure, because like I feel like in the end, like with her death and everything, that like it helps aid in like bringing home the point of a part of Sam's speech when we get there, but it sucks. Like, why couldn't we have Carly also? Like,
I literally had that in my notes. I feel like I said like in my notes, like I feel like they had Carly killed because to emphasize even stronger the emotional beat of Sam's message, saying like, this girl died for our sins. But I'm like,
it could have also had to be an instance of like, if Carly is arrested, and you'd be like, you can understand that, like, yes, like, yeah, she did wrong, but like also look at like why she's doing what she's doing, like what's leading people to act this way. Easily.
There's no reason they really had to kill her. Like, there was so much potential for her character, in terms of redemption arc for her character.
Although also, if they kept her around, like I don't think that they I agree. I don't think they had to kill her, but I also was a little bit like, oh, did Sharon kill her because she knows she's the power broker and she would have just told everyone that in prison?
100%. Yeah, I think that was one of the main reasons there.
I think they were a little bit.
Why is Sharon the power broker?
They wrote themselves into a corner there.
Yeah, I'm like, Sharon didn't have to be power broker.
If you didn't make Sharon the power broker, we didn't have to kill Carly. We gotta fix it.
Fixed. Done. There. Give me the writer's room.
I mean, I'm all right. I still love the show, but
yeah. Where was I going with this? Oh yeah. So before Carly died, though, I liked the whole fight with Carly. Sam refusing to kill Carly, kind of very Jedi-like of him. It's like, I'm not gonna fight you. I'm just gonna walk around this little tight hallway.
Very Steve with Bucky at the end of Winter Soldier.
Yeah, it was very Steve.
Speaking of that, like, I love how much the score for this entire series, and especially in the finale, I found it a lot. There's a lot of moments where you can hear like a lot of the cues from Civil War or from Winter Soldier. Like when the car is tipping over, like it's the same sound or same like dire music as when Iron Man is falling against like Winter Soldier and Captain America, whereas like Winter Soldier is trying to leave, then Cap zaps him, and then Winter Soldier falls down, and they both like begin fighting in Civil War. It's like it sounds very similar to that same theme.
Same composer, Henry Jackman.
Yeah, I mean, I love the Civil War score so much. I've seen Civil War probably the most out of any MCU movie. I love that score so much, and they used it a lot in this finale.
Oh, it's so good.
But yeah, just Sam refusing to kill Carly was amazing. Yeah, I have it right here in my notes. Like, I was just very disappointed that Carly had to die. And I'm disappointed in the whole Sharon power broker reveal. I felt like, just again emphasizing the whole Sharon power broker thing. I felt like the show wanted this to not be a huge theory. I felt like when Sharon first appeared, people were like, "Okay, maybe she's a power broker," especially in the following episode where after they killed the guy who made all the serums, and Sharon's like, we have a new plan or change the plan or something like that, and she zooms away in her car. I just felt like they didn't give Sharon enough screen time. Like, if you're really going to have Sharon be the power broker, have Sharon, I think the quote here was like, she built a criminal empire to change the world that changed her. That's what I wrote down in my notes here.
Could have used
and I'm just like, okay.
I think we could have used a like a flashback segment of like how her mindset's going through these 5 years while like everyone's out.
Totally. Didn't we see that last week? Like we said, like we could have like a 10.
You shut down my idea of a blip movie, but like I said flashback, and you're like, okay.
Yeah, the blip movie probably a bit much. But like 15 to 10 minutes of an hour-long episode just to be like, show us where Sharon is coming from, or give us a flashback with Sharon. One of the weird lines is like Sharon's talking to Carly, saying she related to her. That's why she brought the flashbackers in when they escaped from wherever they came from into Madripoor. And then that's where they presumably met Sharon. And Sharon brought them in, saying Sharon related to Carly, related to her struggles. I'm like, can we have seen some of these scenes, please? Instead of just telling us what happened between these characters, because Carly's a great actress and great character. Sharon's a great character. I would have loved more scenes between them. But because they wanted to emphasize the mystery of it all, we kind of got screwed in the development of it all. So we didn't really get anything from this character. And Sharon just like, it just feels so half-assed. It feels like I said it earlier on, like yada, yada, yada. Like, oh, Sharon's a power broker now.
It's especially weird because it like after Civil War, it felt like the MCU like left her behind. And then they introduce her kind of like from that starting point of like, I was left behind. I was like, this is interesting. Explore this, but then they still left a lot of it behind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very funny.
No, I agree. I'm excited to see more of her, but it was definitely more of a setup instead of an in-depth thing. So I think whenever we see her next, we get more of her build up.
Yes.
I agree.
Yes, which is a common complaint I have with the MCU, but I can't. It's hard to complain about it, but it happens every time.
Well, they have so much story to do, you know. Like
they do.
It's coming later.
But look, like if I was to grade, like this happened with WandaVision a lot too. A lot of the stuff is like set up in the WandaVision finale, and I'm like. But if I'm grading WandaVision, I don't know the future. I'm grading what I'm seeing right now in the present. And right now, I'm upset about the setup. I'm like, I can't be like, oh, this was a 10 out of 10 because setup. I'm like, MCU, not everything needs to be a setup. Just give us a conclusion, at least in some regards. Like, it killed me. I still think to that WandaVision stupid post-credit scene with Monica Rambeau. She's like, "Oh, we're heading to space. Look up there. Get it? Set up. I'm like, I don't give a rat's ass about what's happening.
All right, Mr. Young Avengers.
Hey, that's different, Nathan. That's different. That's subtle setup. Nobody's saying like Young
Avengers. Subtle setup. That's a big event. You just want wrap-ups right now.
I do. I want some good wrap-ups and some like. I don't know. Like I watch a lot of TV.
Everybody's got future. You need future.
I watch a lot of TV, but there's a way to conclude a season in a good way while also teasing what's ahead.
True.
But this is the MCU.
But this is the MCU, and they tease ahead in different ways than other normal.
We're
TV
interconnecting
shows.
with movies. We got.
Yeah, I mean, I know Emma knows. Emma watches a lot of TV as well. It's just like there's a ways to conclude it without saying like this is definitely a setup. I'm like, which the MCU is known for, and they like doing it because as fans we know like, oh, like this is gonna be crazy in the future, isn't it, dude? So I get it, but I'm just like kind of disappointed, especially with the whole Sharon thing, because they made Sharon thing a whole post-credit scene. I'm like, I don't care. Like I was so excited for a post-credit scene, and then I'm like, it's about Sharon. Really?
We're gonna be like 5 years in. We're gonna see Sharon like have her own palace, and you're gonna be like, I was wrong. This is amazing, Mike.
I'm not going to care. Emily Van Camp, I love you. You're great, but Sharon ain't it.
Well, you know what? It wasn't a John Walker post-credit scene, so I'm fine with it.
You're right. They had him in the end of the episode. They didn't put him in post-credit. I was
shocked
where she goes, but
I was shocked.
Yeah, me too.
That she like not only was she the post-credit scene, that was the only post-credit scene. I was like,
yeah, I'm like, that's it. Okay,
which I'll get to because I have like some points, but
okay, cool. But yeah, it was just very interesting with the whole Sharon Carter reveal. I did like how when she shot Baltrog, I guess is he dead? Baltrog, are we presuming he's dead?
I think Baltrog's dead.
Okay, I wouldn't mind if he's dead.
It was cool they came back, but I was like, okay.
One funny thing, when he's talking to Sam in the whole conversation, he's going back between French and English. I'm like, one of my main TV criticisms, I'm like, pick a language. Like they're always going back and forth between different languages. It happens in TV all the time. I'm like,
it happens in real life all the time. Actually, it's weird.
Does it?
Okay. It does. Yeah,
I don't know. It happens in TV all the time, but I'm never.
And it's weird because even when I watch like foreign language stuff, they've switch between English and the language that they speak.
Interesting.
Like,
okay, that's just me.
It's weird. I don't know.
I mean, you watch Parasite.
Certain words too.
They say English sometimes.
Do they in Parasite?
A couple times, yeah.
Really?
Weird.
Yeah, I was like, interesting. I don't know what the reason is, but okay.
I don't either, and it happens in my family too. And I'm like, okay.
I mean, my random life will randomly say foreign phrase, but like,
yeah.
But I mean,
I'm not conversing.
They could have just switched it up, but
yeah.
It
was just funny. I just like the whole idea of like she kills this person, but then like Carly seems like the villain. Even at that point, we know like, hey, Sam, this person is a power broker, but of course, Sam never figures it out.
I know.
I did really. It sucks, but I did like really like how like Sam comes in and it looks like Carly's just about to kill Sharon, and it's like this looks bad.
Yeah, but I can explain.
Yeah.
Yeah, good scene. Poor Carly had to die. I'm like, but at least this show really emphasized like how much Erin Kellerman is a great actress. So hopefully we see her again in a solo series as Enfys Nest again, or some other. I think she's going to be in Willow, in Disney's Willow series, which is unique. I've never seen Willow, but
I do need to watch Willow.
What that is, but
it's like a 1980s Disney movie.
19 agents. 19 U.S. agent films. That's what Evan says. Perfectly designed for Emma. A whole book series.
That'll be interesting. Then. Yeah, no, I loved her, so I'm excited to see more of her for sure.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Emma, have you seen Solo?
No.
Well, didn't you say you didn't see it because you were like, I don't like who's playing Han?
Oh wow.
Because it's not Harrison.
Damn.
I don't know. I hear that I should watch it.
Wow.
Maybe
I was last time on the podcast.
Join our campaign to make Solo 2 happen because we really want it.
Look at his t-shirt.
I was on board because Emilia Clarke was in it, and I love what's his face that played what's the other guy's name that he played the young version of Han's friend? Lando.
Oh,
Donald Glover.
Donald Glover, yeah.
Donald Glover, yeah. And I love that casting. I thought that was fantastic, and I liked him a lot.
He's getting a show.
Yeah.
Oh, I couldn't get on board with it. I don't know. He wasn't as charismatic, and maybe that's because it was his prequel. He was starting out, and he wasn't
young boy
Han yet. But like
insecure Han, it's fun.
It's fun. He didn't have that swagger, or that cool factor when I watched the trailers. So I was like,
that gives the sympathy. It's like watching Steve. It's like watching even the first Captain America before he's like confident.
I would love to see Emma do a live tweet of Solo.
I don't know if I would. I'm scared.
Okay,
I think she'd have a lot of fun with it. Him and Han and Kira, Emilia Clarke's character, had a lot of great scenes together. I think you would really enjoy that aspect.
We can have you watch it, then come on our Star Wars podcast to review it, and the council will decide your fate the future.
Whether I can come back on the podcast or not. Okay. All right. If it's on a streaming platform, is it on? It's
on Disney Plus.
All right. I'll watch it.
Yeah.
Like although Evan, I still think you should watch Nancy Drew. I think you would really, really like it.
I need to watch Nancy Drew. Yes.
I'll watch Solo if you watch the pilot of Nancy Drew.
Ooh. Okay. Deal.
Watch Solo, and I will watch.
Nancy Drew on the CW app. Is it still on there?
It should be on the CW app or the Paramount Plus app. It's on one of them.
Oh, I do have Paramount Plus. I use that to watch my
Evan's daily plug of Paramount Plus. I use Big Brother and Survivor. Everyone.
Big Brother and Survivor. Yes.
Yeah. That's why I got it. That's why we got it. It was because it was my mom's birthday gift. It finally came to Canada, and I got it so she could watch Survivor.
That's incredible. Emma's mom is the best.
She did. She watched all of them again. But yes, so in Canada we have it on Paramount Plus, and I think it's either on Paramount Plus and CW or on both the apps in America.
Awesome.
But yes, okay. You watch that. I'll watch this, and then we'll debrief.
Totally deal.
Okay.
All right.
Where were we again? Oh yeah,
Carly is no
more. Tragic.
Oh yeah.
And then we get Nathan's incredible bridal carry.
Yeah, dude. It was like beautifully long too. I was like, oh, my captain. It's sad, but my captain.
Yeah.
It just looks so good.
No, it was great. It was a really good shot. And then his speech, like, come on. That was some Supergirl stuff right there. That was the first time I cried in this episode.
Wow.
I actually only cried once watching this, and it was which Bucky scene was it?
So let me try and guess Nathan's crying. So we have
they're easy.
The bridal carry.
No, I didn't cry. I cried during the speech.
Oh, speech. Okay,
the whole speech.
Isaiah Bradley Museum.
Yes.
And Yuri and Bucky.
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
I cried 3 times.
Yeah, that's when I cried. I cried at that one.
That part was hard. That was tough.
3 times, and I let that play in my reaction. So, if anyone wants to see me just be depressed for 15 minutes,
give it a like, share.
Oh my god! But yeah, the whole speech was just like, that is Captain America. That is so good.
Oh, it was so good. It was so good.
It was really good. And I liked, like we commented throughout the episode, throughout the whole helicopter thing, we saw that the audience, not the audience, but the New York City citizens were watching him throughout the like flight thing. So like they were just building up to everybody. They saw him do all the action. They saw him rescue tons of people. Then he gives a speech where there's even more people watching. So again, I think episode 4 where Walker kills the guy, that episode is titled "The Whole World Is Watching." So like in this episode, the whole world is watching, but this time it's a new Cap, and he's doing something good. He's not murdering somebody in public.
He's doing repurpose of the phrase, which is the title of the episode, "One World, One People."
Exactly.
I think the overall message of his speech, really. Yeah,
in his speech, and I kind of predicted this as well last night. I'm like, the GRC Relocation Act has to go away. It is stupid, makes no sense. Of course, the senator with no name kept saying like, you know, Sam, you just don't know. Like, I'm more smarter than you, and you just you don't know anything what you're talking
Don't
about.
patronize my child, you
exactly. Don't patronize
no,
me.
look at me. Like
I'm a black guy in a Captain America outfit. I know what I'm talking about.
I hate when governments are the bad guy in shows normally, because I'm just like, we see it every day. We know. And I'm just like, I would rather fight a god than fight the government, because I have no faith we're gonna win against the second one.
Yeah.
But it was really well written, and I loved that speech.
And even though they were like, you don't get it, as soon as like Sam's like really going in, they're just like, they're not talking back. They're just like here.
Well, they can't. Like,
yeah.
It just makes me wish, like, I wish we had Captain America here in our reality.
I know. There was a lot of reflective of real stuff, and like, so good. Like Sam going off like, you own the banks, you can move borders with an email, you can feed people with a phone call. And like he made like such a great point. It was like, and like you're the ones who decide those votes, but like who's going to be in the room with you? Is it be everyone that looks like you, or the people who are actually struggling with it?
Yep, it was a fantastic speech. It was epic, super well done. Yeah, I think that they wrote that really, really well.
It's really hard when I'm reacting to episodes like this, because I'll watch and I'm like, oh, and then like I'll go back to it and I'm like, God damn it!
I'm still crying.
Like I'm tired. I want to go to bed. I want to put this out. But I'm like,
and I loved how Isaiah was watching the speech from home, and his sister was watching. It was just so good.
Yeah, Isaiah's like, oh wow, the guy actually did it, didn't he? Yeah.
And Torres was watching. He's not a creeper now.
Yes, I know that now.
Yeah.
No, that was just fantastic, and I loved how Bucky was there at the end. I heard none of that.
I'm a black guy, and
we mentioned this early on in the season. Like I liked this whole speech because it's very in line with what happened in Black Panther, where Black Panther's fighting against Killmonger, who had this very good ideal, but of course he warped it by killing a lot of people and attempting to kill even more.
Yeah.
But then at the end of Black Panther, Chadwick Boseman, he goes to like the United States and delivers a message, basically delivering everything that Killmonger said, but just doing it in a more like justifiable and more humane way. And this is the same thing that Sam does. Like he agrees with and basically regurgitates everything that Carly's been saying. He even says it like, this is what this girl died for. Like he's regurgitating everything that she said, but except he's doing it in a more humane way, right? He's not killing people to accomplish it.
He's presenting what he wanted to get Carly to in a mindset, so that she didn't end up where she was.
Yeah, which I thought was very beautiful. It was a very good parallel there.
Yeah, I agree.
But he meets back up with Bucky, and it's so nice that they're not like not overly annoyed with each other anymore. They're actually like friends.
I know.
And he said, "Good job, Cap."
Oh,
I know. So cute.
Oh.
I love those two so much.
Me too.
They're the best.
It was a really great character growth that they both got to go through. And even just seeing like the first episode where they're both grieving, because I didn't even realize when you see them both on screen, you're like, wow, they've both lost their best friend who was literally the head of the Avengers, both of them. Yeah. And it's just so depressing. So that was a really, really nice growth for them to come out of that. Just be...
It has been so interesting, like since the end of Endgame when they gave Sam the shield, which was like one of my top Captain America related comic book moments I've ever wanted to see on the big screen. And so I was just like, I saw that and I was just like, it's so exciting just thinking of the prospect of that going to unfold in the future. And now I physically have seen the start of that, and it's just so fulfilling. It's so good.
Yeah, it really is. And this goes into since they announced Captain America 4, my brother and I were talking about it, like what if somebody hadn't seen this series, and this goes into from Endgame to Captain America 4. I think they'll be perfectly fine because they'll be like, oh, well, Cap gave him the shield and now he's Captain America.
Yeah,
so it's one of the beauties of the MCU where you don't really have to watch the show, but us having watched the show really get to see that awesome character arc for Sam and Bucky. I presume Bucky's going to be in the next movie as well. Just that awesome character arc that they both went through as he became this new Captain America. We all knew this Endgame, but the character arc just throughout this entire series, this entire 6 episodes was amazing. especially last week where he was really struggling. Like, do I even want to be Captain America? After what Isaiah Bradley told him, I'm just loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, also, the fact that they had to go through all of this, I'm like, okay, I understand why you left Wanda alone right now. You were going through your own shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this is before WandaVision. Yeah. So
no, this is after.
Is this after WandaVision?
It is 6 months after WandaVision.
6
It
months.
is? I thought it was at the same time.
Not 6 months after.
Yeah. WandaVision was like.
What were they doing?
WandaVision was like 3 months or 3 weeks after the events of Endgame. So I imagine Sam's just like, oh my god.
Okay, well then someone should have checked on Wanda. Okay, I thought that this was because they were having their own stuff going on.
She was hiding. No one could find her.
So WandaVision came first, and then
could have asked.
Falcon Winter Soldier.
I know. I agree. I love Wanda. I care about her well-being.
I guess if they checked on her, we wouldn't have a series, but still.
Yeah, what is with this whole like first nobody checks on Wanda, nobody checks on Sharon, presumably.
I know.
People just take up a phone, somebody.
I've heard this joke since phase 2 forward. Everyone's like, oh, where's everyone at? They're doing their own shit. That's why until we come together, they're busy.
It's clearly. You think Nick Fury could handle this?
He's in space.
He's in space. Look on.
Evan, that was.
Then he can get Colby Smulders to check in, like whatever the thing is. Just
what happened to her character? What is she doing?
What
did we last hear?
She wasn't actually we check it out. She was a scroll, so I don't know.
Oh man, yeah. Did we last see her in Endgame? Was that her last?
I feel like all of these characters are like Gendry in Game of Thrones. He's just still rowing the boat. We're like, where does he go?
The authors just kind of forgot about Gendry.
Is this what you're trying to get the point, Evan? It's like we have all this set up. Where's everyone at?
Yeah. It's awesome because the MCU is all about setup, but then even at one point the MCU is like, crap, we kind of forgot about this character. Let's just bring.
We can write it back later.
Let's just write them back in right now.
Save it for later.
Maybe don't forget. Yeah. Maybe they're just like, all right, we're gonna write this 7 years down the line. We'll have her come back.
No, they literally have like a data bank where they're just like, this is available if you want, but like,
that's probably true. They're like, oh, where did we last leave off with that one?
Like, how many deals did we sign this contract for this actor? 5. All right, that's good.
I know. I literally tweeted out like in our DMs earlier. I'm like, the Sharon thing annoyed me so much, but we're probably not even gonna see her for another 4 years. And then an hour later, they announced Captain America 4. I'm like, watch her not even be in that movie. Like, she's just not gonna be relevant. At
she
all.
might not be.
Well, I'm theorizing she's in something else, but
yeah. Okay, we'll get there. But it was just very interesting. I'm like, we'll see what happens. Yeah.
Great speech. Then they went off. Then the butler kills those guys, which was hilarious.
Too funny.
I was here for it.
I didn't laugh. I was like, oh. I forgot who it was.
Yeah, the guy just holding the grenade, like boom.
Maybe because I had just seen it back to back. That's fair. He was in a very quick scene.
Yeah, and like a half a season ago. It's only 6 episodes, but that was 3
I'm
hours
like,
ago.
there's not a lot of episodes there, Nathan, but
it's 3 weeks ago. We saw see him for like what 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Any
other drinks, you know?
My own Evan moment of just like, who cares? I appreciate it.
But for a second there, I thought it was Thunderbolt Ross because I saw like an old guy with a beard. I'm like, oh, it's Thunderbolt Ross. I was right. Yeah, it's just another old white guy. It's just
my dumb brain. I just see an old guy in this series, and I'm like, Steve. No, like not that Steve's blowing up people. Like it's just like in the millisecond, my brain's processing and registering, and I'm like, old man in Captain America show, Steve. I know.
Yeah, and then Zemo looks in jail reading his book, probably for the 100th time.
He's like,
that was pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Also off track, but that scene when the Wakandans showed up, so good when they kicked John's ass.
That was too funny. You got this, John.
I love that.
Strong, John.
Sam's like, we should really do something. Should we though? Like,
Buggy's like,
that was crazy.
They're all so good. That's all I was saying. Emma was like, I can skip some fights, and I was like, well, no. Funny moments.
I finished right on time. Okay, I just skipped a little bit. But yeah, I think that's the whole episode basically until the end credit scene. Yeah,
Bucky.
No, we get Bucky. Missed out the Bucky Yuri scene.
Well, yeah, that's true. When they apologize.
Well, yeah, that's
you can't escape. You can't escape these tears. We're diving into depression. We were talking about this like from the jump from the first episode.
Totally.
Like
we all knew this was coming. Yeah.
Well, no, I was just like, I didn't think they were really gonna circle back. I was just like, what do you do? You're in this scenario.
Yeah, I wouldn't know. Like, yeah, Bucky's a stronger person than me. I'm like, I have no idea what happened to your boy. Tragic, right?
Like at that point, I just be like, I gotta leave forever. I can't do this.
I can't do this. Yeah, I got peace out, bro. Write him a letter, be like, yeah, this is what happened. What had happened was, I was mind controlled. I had no control of my actions.
Yeah,
but it was a very emotional scene. It really hit home.
It was so sad.
It hurts so much because he's breaking it down like it was the Winter Soldier, and that was me. And he just asked me why, and he's like, I had no choice.
That was pain.
It hurt. I gotta imagine, like, again, Emma, you watch everything in a day, and like we start with his PTSD from the get-go.
Mm-hmm.
No.
And then
I just love how much he opened up in this series. His character growth was so fantastic. Even the way that, like, I feel like he was almost more open than Sam was at some points in the series, especially when they were talking to each other. Yeah. And I love that for him.
Yeah, me too. And I love the scene when he's walking, I guess the next day or whatever, and he looks into the bar to his date that he had in episode 1, and then Yuri, and he looks in there. I'm like, come on, like I think he's thinking like this is a life that he could have had, or the life that he wants, that he still wants, but he feels like he's still not ready. What do you guys think about
what I saw is she still seemed friendly, and I was shipping it, so I'm going to.
She's pretty hot. Like, come on.
She was very hot. Personally, what I saw was that I thought he was happy that Yuri had someone else to take care of him with that, and she was there being his friend because he lost Bucky.
Yeah.
But
that's good though.
I think there's a lot to interpret with that scene.
I want Bucky to have a normal life. And
you think they're still friends?
Me too.
I just want Bucky to walk in there, have a drink, chat with some friends that's not named Sam. Like, come on.
But we still have more movies. By the end of it, he'll get his piece. I have faith for sure.
We're gonna open on Captain America 4, and it's gonna just be like Bucky hanging out with friends. Like, but he's like being ridiculous.
Honestly, I would be fine. I would love if he went and made a home in Wakanda because he was peaceful there. He was happy there. I don't know.
That'd be cool.
I'd be fine wherever he makes a home. I want him to have peace for sure.
Me too.
He deserves it.
But if you don't get peace, like Wolfman said, Sebastian Stan kills those emotional moments, like those very sad moments. Sebastian Stan just kills.
Emma. Bucky at the fire pit in Wakanda.
I cried at that one. That was the one I really, really cried at. That was painful.
Sebastian's crying. I'm crying. Because
he's
crying out of grief and out of happiness, like because
I love him so much. He's exactly my type of fictional man. I just love him so much.
The metal arm, perfect.
Perfect. He's perfect.
We love amputee. All right.
Yeah, Emma, that was what I was going for with
Emma's type.
You heard it here,
gentlemen.
It's not the brooding superhero part. No, it's. That was a really great scene. That scene, and then
Isaiah.
Sam's speech.
Yes,
were my favorite. I think 2 of my favorite scenes.
Same.
Yeah. But then we go to Isaiah's house, and we're just like reaffirming, like, yes, a Black Captain America. Mm-hmm. Hell yes. So good. And I saw like Evan tweeted like part of his prediction that like this would happen on Twitter, and and they were like, "Hey, I'll take you somewhere. Like, where are we going?" And like as soon as like we were just in the museum, I was like,
"It's happening." Yeah, I didn't bet the whole statue. I'm like, these people work fast. Damn.
Yeah. Oh my god. They go right in, and he's just like Isaiah's like really taken aback, not just seeing like the statue, but just like the whole like actual history.
Wow.
Like, and he has like it takes like a moment. You just like let the moment breathe and like really get the emotion for everybody. And Sam just like reaffirms like, so no one will forget what you did. And it's just, oh my god, the hug, it's just like full arc for Isaiah too, and everybody. It's
a character I never expected to appear in the show, a character I've heard of in the comics a little bit myself, who reads a lot of comics, didn't really know much about his character. And he was a very big bright spot in this entire series. He was like the emotional anchor to Sam's arc in a lot of ways. And just to see his whole reaction to the statue and his grandson, I guess, it's just like, wow. Loved it.
Glorious. It's so good. And then as soon as like that scene ends and I'm crying for the third time, then they were just like having a cookout, having a good time. I'm like, thank God, save me. Like, and everyone's having fun. Bucky's having fun. He's Uncle Bucky at this point.
Trying to pull his arm off.
Yeah, just left it.
So cute. They're just like looking out like over the harbor and they're just like smiling, walking like shoulder to shoulder. Buddies, pals, and title Captain America and the Winter Soldier.
So good.
I love it. Applaud, everybody applaud, and it's so good.
It was fantastic.
I love it so much. And then Sharon.
Buzzkill.
I was just like, this. It's funny because I watched it and I was like, all right, what's the second one? There wasn't. I was like.
Yeah, I tweeted out like, guys, their post-credit scene. They're like, yes. And as soon as they tweeted yes, I'm like, okay. And then it looks up. I'm like, oh, government.
Yeah,
I was like, Zemo. Are they gonna go to Zemo and Thunderbolts or anything? And then no.
Yeah, it almost felt like the Walker scene was an end credit type deal, but
no,
yeah, it was kind of like an end credit without being an end credit. Yeah,
I will take Shannon over that idiot any day.
Oof.
But yeah, as soon as like we got to Sharon, I was like, okay, I'm sure they'll set up something big, and it was just like government, and I was like, okay.
It was so weird. It's like, now I get to sell U.S. government secrets and weapons by being part of the government again. I'm like, and they're like, dun 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 dun. I'm like, I don't care. Like, is it supposed to be ominous or something? Like,
so, yeah. At first I was watching. I was like, I don't really have anything to go off from this, which is what I like to have with my end credits. But okay. Yeah. But then like I had some time to sit with it, and then my comic brain and started twisting, and I was like, oh wait, what projects we got? And so I think maybe Sharon could have a return and involvement in the Armor Wars series coming up
with Mr. Don Cheadle. Yeah. Armor Wars Emma is about Don Cheadle as Iron, whatever his name is, Patriot, War Machine. I forgot his name already. As War Machine, as he tries to like battle against.
Is like
help me out.
It's about like Tony Stark's biggest fear. What happens when like his technology ends up in the wrong hands?
Yes,
that's
which is Iron Man 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
Yes, but on a bigger scale because a whole war. Excuse me. And Armor Wars is going to be taking place after the Iron Heart series, which is going to follow Riri Williams as.
Is it after or before? Are you sure it's after?
Iron Heart's before.
Okay.
I think it's like right before. So I think she'll be in Armor Wars, and I really hope Rhodey is a mentor to her, like Tony was in the comics. It's a very like Miles Spider-Man type deal.
I keep forgetting we're getting Ironheart. It just feels a bit too soon. I do like Ironheart as a character. I read her comic book a lot. At least the initial run of Ironheart, I read like 12 issues, and she has a pretty dark past. Something happens when she's very young that's very tragic and relevant to what's going on in America. But
that could be a lot of things, Evan. But okay.
Yeah, I mean,
no spoilers.
I know. Spoiler alert: her friend, like somebody close to her, gets shot in a shooting in a park. Yeah. And
why this is a
that would be one of my like 5 choices.
Yeah. Her friend gets shot, and that's why she becomes very secluded. But she is a genius, so she wants to be like the next Iron Man.
Genius character.
Yeah, I feel like everybody in the MCU is some kind of genius. I'm like, can we have a dumb character, please?
Degree, yeah.
Somebody relatable to myself. As a teacher.
Hey, that's Colby Smolder's character, but she's on a boat somewhere.
Yeah, she's just chilling. She's in space.
Honestly.
But yeah, Sharon appearing in Armor Wars is a fascinating idea, but it still begs the thing, like, she's still not going to be a believable antagonist to me. You're just not.
I need more
Sharon.
backs. I still need.
I need something to latch on to.
I think it's because we don't know what her goal is or what
is your goal? Money?
Is, like, or
what
why?
The ultimate goal, Evan.
Yeah.
I can't blame her.
It's true. Like we haven't invested in her enough because we haven't seen enough of her or understood enough of her. So
that's what it comes down to. We haven't been invested. We don't know much, so I can't really.
But I'm interested to see more of her character. I like her.
Mm-hmm.
I get where you're coming from with that though, because I don't really want her to be bad. Like I'll get on board with it, but
bring back my boy Justin Hammer from Iron Man 2. Bring back Sam Rockwell.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sam Rockwell is iconic.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. And
Sam Rockwell is the best.
Actor. I would take him back. Yeah, I like him a lot.
Absolutely. He's got to be in it, right?
Yeah, he's so great. He's so great, and he was great in those like Marvel. They used to do those one-shot things on the DVDs.
He was
great in anything. I adore him in Charlie's Angels, and from that, I will just love him in anything else. He's so good. Come on, he's a fantastic.
Sam Rockwell in everything, and you choose Charlie's Angels.
I'm trying to. I feel like
it's what I remember him most from.
That's why we have M on the podcast. People, all these different perspectives.
Look, man, I know the Charlie's Angels movie.
It's a good movie.
No, it's fun. It's fun. Yeah, absolutely. But like my favorite Sam Rockwell thing was like I think it's from Galaxy Quest where they're just like it's a sci-fi so like but I think there's like do you guys know about Galaxy Quest?
I've never seen Galaxy Quest actually.
All right, so
that's the one with Tim Allen, right?
Yeah, no, it was like this thing with
yeah, I've seen the trailer.
Like all these actors were a part of a famous TV show, but then it's like real sci-fi stuff happens, so they gotta they get thrown into the mix. And like Sam Rockwell is there, and he's like they're like landing on this planet, and they were just like about to walk out there, and he's like, "You can't just go out there; it's an alien planet. Is there air? You don't know." Like it's so funny.
He's just so fantastic at inhabiting like whatever character he has.
He's great. I think my favorite Sam Rockwell movie. What is it called? It's called Moon. I'm about to say it's one where he's on the moon.
I still see Moon.
Moon is one of the best sci-fi films of all time. I don't want to say anything. But it's him on the moon, and he's up to something, and it's very good. It's a twisty thriller. It's really good. It's really. I watched it for the first time for a film class in college because I forget what the main subject was, like on perspective or like on something. And Moon is fantastic with Sam Rockwell. Yeah,
I gotta check it out.
I'd really.
Duncan Jones, right?
Yeah. The guy who did Warcraft.
Yeah.
Another bad video game movie.
It blew my mind finding out that Duncan Jones is the son of David Bowie. Not knowing.
I keep forgetting that until you just told me that. Yeah, he is.
Yeah. It was a different name. I was like, I don't know.
Duncan Bowie.
I don't know.
That's not how it works. No. Okay.
Duncan. Hey, anyway,
so he's coming on the podcast, Duncan Jones.
I mean, we basically covered the show. It's
overall very good. I can't tell which one I like better. It's so fresh in my mind between WandaVision and
they're so different.
They're so different. Yeah.
It is totally different.
Specific mood, and
it's interesting that Disney apparently or Marvel apparently submitted WandaVision for limited series and Falcon Winter Soldier for best drama for like upcoming awards season and stuff like that.
So it was more like a movie on. Yeah.
So it was interesting. They are totally different shows, but they're both all MCU shows as well. I still feel like WandaVision was the better as a complete whole, but I did like this finale better than WandaVision's finale.
Well, granted, I guess like because WandaVision's like more primary focus is on Wanda herself, whereas Falcon Winter Soldier you're juggling
multiple.
It was more about the world really, and like an in between section than. Well, we got Bucky and Sam, but Wanda was very focused on just Wanda, and she was also very secluded in that fact. So I don't think I could pick one though because I love Bucky so much. I don't think I could choose between him and Wanda. But I agree, they're very, very different. They were both fantastic, and I'm really looking forward to Loki now.
Yeah,
absolutely.
These have both been really, really good. So
I think in general, I would give like Falcon and Winter Soldier like an 8, and then WandaVision like 8.5. Like they're very close.
Yeah,
they're both very good, very, very good TV shows.
I agree with you. Yeah.
I'm not putting a number on my children.
That's fair.
Nathan's gonna be the parent of the year right here.
I was literally like, I already like put WandaVision as like some of my favorite MCU stuff ever, and then I see the show and I'm like, this too.
I'm just so glad that they were both really, really good. It just gives me so much hope for like. I mean, I was excited for Loki, but I'm not like a massive Loki fan. Like I do like him, but now I'm like, okay, the second one was also fantastic, so I'm excited to see.
I'm the same way. Yeah,
there's so much confidence behind Loki right now. They're already like looking into doing a season 2.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Owen Wilson too. Like, I think it'll be really good, and I'm I'm much more confident now that we've seen the second one, and it was super strong. So, I mean, the MCU really doesn't miss too much, so I'm excited.
Yeah,
about that one.
It has never.
You just want to talk about the trailer, right? For the 10 Rings.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about the trailer for Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, which was so cool. It was just like
really cool. Yeah.
It's very different. In
Carson the screen.
Yeah, god damn it, he's not here.
Oh, well, you guys could talk about it next week, but
I'm kidding. We can talk about the trailer right now, though. The trailer I think is very cool. In general, very good trailer. I love Simu Liu as main character. I thought it was really good here.
I'm going to say, now I love every MCU installment. Yes, I do. But yes, Evan. Taking Evan off the screen.
Which one do we not like?
I can name a couple.
I like them. Okay, I know plenty of people in my life that will be like, this and this, and I'm just like, but I just find the good. Leave me alone. But I can agree like when stuff like will get like a set way. But then like watching the way like this film is shot and like just the way different dynamic camera work, I'm like, wow, this is fresh. It's very nice.
Yeah, cinematographer is the same as like the guy who did Spider-Man 2 and 3. He did Matrix movies.
Yeah.
I forget his name right now. But he's Bill Pope, right? I think I just got it. So. Okay. Bill Pope sounds familiar. Sounds like a guy. Sounds like the guy. So yeah, they got a really good cinematography person because the MCU is constantly criticized about like its cinematography and its visual style.
Also about that color grading.
And the color grading, yeah.
I like the. I don't mind.
All the concrete, Evan. The concrete.
The concrete palette.
Concrete palette.
Oh shit! I'm here for characters.
I mean, I don't really care. But yeah, this style of the trailer looks amazing. I love the Asian culture, the Asian influences. Very Enter the Dragon-esque. Very like those martial arts, Jet Li, Bruce Lee, kind of movies going on there. It seems like there's a tournament going on. It seems like this kid was born. I don't know a lot about Shang-Chi. I don't think I've ever read a Shang-Chi comic book. I think I've read
very obscure.
Yeah, like I read him when he's in a group setting, but it's not in like a standalone comic book setting. Because he later on joined like some versions of the Avengers or some other groups.
Probably West Coast or something.
Yeah, or something Atlas.
There's Agents of Atlas, as led by Jimmy Woo.
So yeah, we do see like a little bit of the Mandarin in here. Mandarin who has been teased, of course, in Iron Man 3, and other MCU offerings.
Not the real one now.
The real one now. We're getting the real one. Not Trevor, played by the great
Ben Kingsley.
Ben Kingsley. Thank you very much.
So yeah, the one shot, the All Hail the King for
All Hail the King one shot's pretty good. Pretty good
cameo from Justin Hammer.
Yeah, he's great in that. My boy. What else? Oh yeah, we see the 10 Rings like once in here, like when
it looks like they made it more of like a bracelet style. Which I've heard like some people say I think it's a good differentiating from like being Infinity Stone-esque of like on the
exactly. Yeah. And some people were asking me, like, is this going to be like the MCU's next Infinity Stones? Because each ring has a different power or a different name. And I'm like, I don't think they want to do that. I don't think they want to familiarize people with the 10 Rings as much as like the Infinity Stones.
I don't think it's going to be a thing of like every individual one has a power. It'll probably just be a thing of like you have them and they can do these different things.
Yeah, and they allow you to jump very high or have all this strength and like stuff. There's a scene in the trailer where like there's a huge war going on like around this temple, this Asian temple.
It's like ancient times.
And it seems like ancient times, and then there's also a similar looking thing in present time. So we could be seeing a lot of flashbacks and flash forwards in this movie, which seems very cool.
I think they're also alluding that the Mandarin is
very long lived. Yeah, which is different from the comic books. In the comic books, his father's like Fu Manchu, something like that. It's not the Mandarin, but in this one, it seems like they're just gonna tighten the story and be like, yeah, your father is the Mandarin, so it's the classic story of your father's evil kid. Now you have to go against your father.
I think I also heard like the filmmakers were saying like it's not going to be like a Luke Vader scenario of like oh surprise. It's going to be like no, we're aware.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm here in San Francisco because I don't want to go back to my father. I know he's crazy. It kind of got the sense that like he thinks he's living on his own. He's living his best life away from his father, but his father's been like, I know where you've been this entire time. Time to come back home, kid. Time to join my evil legacy. And he's like, I don't really want to do that, Dad. Come on. And then they have a classic father-son battle.
Yeah, it was also like interesting. It was like I was seeing like reports of stuff that like they're going to like have some at least like a scene set in Madripoor in this film, which we have spent some time with in Falcon Winter Soldier.
Okay.
So if there's something happening, Sharon, no, I don't know.
Even more X-Men Easter eggs, X-Men Madripoor stuff going on.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, it looks like a blast, and I'm sure it'll be like equally just like badass, but also funny. Awkwafina's in it. I love her.
She's yes, great. I'm excited for that. Yes, I adore her.
It's gonna be so fun. A lot of good action scenes. Like the bus scene they had at the end, like that. We know from set photos that's a lot of it's practical. I don't think the lady falling out of the window is real, but like a lot of like the crash stuff is like actually happening.
That'd be too funny. Like take 10. She's like, not again.
And it looks like it'll be interesting because like I think they were also saying it's going to be like a very like tournament fighter type film, kind of like a Mortal Kombat-esque thing. There was also at somewhere point revealed a like more minor character that we've met before is going to show up. Do either of you care if I say who that is?
I think I know. Say it for me.
Yeah, it's Baron Mordo from Doctor Strange.
Yeah, I heard he was going to be in it as well. Apparently, because magic is going on, this guy does not like magic. Yeah. He doesn't like the misuse of magic, at least. So 10 Rings could be related to that.
That was the guy that left Doctor. That was her apprentice, right?
Yeah, the dude in green.
Yeah. Okay.
What was his weird thing? It was like the debt must be paid.
The bill comes due.
Yeah.
Too many sorcerers.
It comes due. I'm like, what are you, a banker, the IRS? Like, get out of here.
Like, bros, let's have fun. God damn it.
The post-credit scene for Doctor Strange is never not funny. It's like he takes the guy.
This man, he takes away his ability to walk because like the perversion of the magic.
He's on the ground like, you crazy motherfucker.
I was just living I didn't hurt anybody. Like it's
just playing basketball.
Yeah, like this one dude, like, oh, he's walking. Oh, well, now he's like getting in the way of people. Like that's not
this dude. He's just playing basketball. You're a dick. You come over here like, oh, you're magic. You can't walk. I'm like, oh, I'm not even doing the magic anymore.
That's whole body though, man. Like,
oh, that was funny. Yeah,
funny.
Pretty funny.
I hope to see him in Doctor. He is confirmed for Doctor Strange sequel. So
yeah, he is.
I'm sure
who isn't confirmed for the Doctor Strange sequel?
If we have the rest of the whole cast.
Kobe Smulders.
Kobe Smulders.
Sharon Carter.
Oh no! Don't give them ideas.
Multiverse of Madness, Evan. Anything's possible. Evan Peters is back. Let's go.
Yes.
I'll let
take
it die.
I love him.
Hey.
I'm still sad that they killed Pedro off that movie.
In Age of Ultron?
Way back when.
Would have been nice to bring him back. Maybe we can. Who's to say? Multiverse of Madness.
What do we have next here, Nathan?
Who's to say?
In terms of casting, we have some pretty big casting for this week in terms of the MCU. with the next Secret Invasion TV show.
Yes.
Stacked cast. So Olivia Colman was announced on Tuesday. We're like, Olivia Colman, great. I loved her in The Favorite, one of my favorite movies. And then the next day after, Emilia Clarke is joining the MCU in also Secret Invasion. Crazy. So right now we have Ben Mendelsohn coming back as Talos from Captain Marvel. And then we have Samuel Jackson, Nick Fury, Olivia Colman is coming in. Emilia Clarke is coming in. The guy who played Malcolm X in One Night in Miami is also coming in as the main villain.
Okay.
And then we have some other people joining the cast. Like this cast is stacked. Phenomenal actors, like actors who I never thought would join the MCU. So this is incredible.
Emilia Clarke is exciting.
Emilia Clarke, super exciting. I'm like, Marvel got her before Star Wars could get her again. I'm like, ugh.
But she's back on the Disney Plus, so we are on the train to.
We're on the train. Yeah.
Get that part of the Solo sequel going.
Hopefully.
We got Lando. She's over here. Aaron Kellyman's on Falcon Winter Soldier. We can get that if it's next show.
And Emilia Clarke, I mean, this is interesting because it's like she's been in Terminator now, and I didn't think she would be like so prone to doing a lot more blockbusters. And granted, she did Solo 3 years ago, but I thought she'd like take a break, do some I know, do some low key stuff. But yeah, she's back in the MCU, and hopefully they get her for a long contract.
The MCU does not end until every actor has been cast, and even then, we get more people every day.
Very true.
They will never die.
What's it gonna say? Oh yeah, Secret Invasion in general is something that I just never was really excited for. I don't like the idea of like who is it? Like,
well, we were worried about that leading up to Captain Marvel. We were just like, who's going to be cheapened?
Yeah,
they did. Luckily,
the Kree, like, who is it? Like, is this person fake? Is this person real? Like, I don't care. I'm not really involved in those.
And I don't want it to be like I don't want it to be an existing person that we've already built so much on. Because
I'm nervous it might be that.
There were people who are like, it's Rhodey's a Skrull, and I'm like, why would you do that?
Yeah, it was really weird. Like in the lead up to Captain Marvel, they're like, oh, what if Hawkeye is a Skrull? And I'm like, why would they do that leading into Avengers, Infinity War, and Endgame? Like, that would make no sense. So now they might do it here. But with this cast, I'm very excited.
Yeah, it makes me more excited with this cast for sure. But I'm with you, Evan. Like, I'm not psyched about that. But then again, I wasn't like super gung ho for Loki either, and now I'm really excited. So,
what I would
see what happens.
What I would hope is like, if the invasion is going to happen, have it happen now, to where like if you start to impersonate. Make it be now so that you don't cheapen somewhere else and you can have
in the movies. Yeah,
so it's more of infiltration. I wonder because for some reason there's this report going around that Chris Evans is attached to one project that also apparently that isn't Captain America, the next one. Maybe for this, who's to say? God. That's the only other thing I could place him in because I'm just like
Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness.
Okay, you look, you joke, but that's possible.
I mean, that's what I wouldn't be upset about because I'd be like, oh, multiverse, he'll be in there for like 5 seconds and he's gone.
He's on the Loki show. It's another transfiguration.
Probably like what they did with Arrow and the big crossover, except that was terrible. So,
which crossover?
Which one? There's like 5 crossovers. Yeah.
The last one.
The last one.
I didn't see the last one. Dang.
I had fun seeing people, but yeah.
We saw a lot of people, but.
We just to see them.
Just a smidge.
Who knows?
But Lucifer popped up and it was cool.
Have you guys seen this is off topic, but have you guys seen the Cruella trailer, the one they dropped today?
Oh, today? There's a new one?
I know there was already a second one after the teaser, right?
Yeah, I stopped watching it after the teaser. I'm gonna see it. It looks really good.
I haven't seen the second trailer, let alone what Emma's.
Did you like it, Emma?
I'm so conflicted on this movie because because I really love Emma Stone.
You see Evan is a Emma Stone stan.
Oh, I love Emma Stone. I love her. She's fantastic. I've seen like almost all of her films. And I really like their live actions. I think I've only not liked like 2. Which was the Jungle Book and Alice in Wonderland. But
wow, hot take.
I
was going to say like Lion King and Alice in Wonderland, but And Maleficent. I can't stand Maleficent.
Lion King was okay. I loved Maleficent. I haven't seen number
Maleficent
2. But
I have seen number 2. I had an okay time.
I haven't seen number 2, but I love the first one.
I am still ashamed that I have not seen Cinderella yet.
So good.
I know.
Lily James as Cinderella. Oh my god!
Isn't Richard Madden in that?
Yes.
Yes.
The Prince.
I know that scene where they meet by heart and can recite it. It's so good.
I need to watch it.
That one and Beauty and the Beast are my top 2 favorites.
I love Beauty and the Beast, and Aladdin is my favorite.
Aladdin is good.
Aladdin is good.
I was so surprised how much I loved Aladdin.
Aladdin is really good.
Didn't
My mom
Oscars-
watches that, I swear, at least once a week.
I can't remember. Did the Oscars nominate original song for Speechless, or did they snub it?
Ooh,
Actually, that's a good question. They probably snubbed it because it's a freaking Disney film. But
I feel like
see.
they did. I mean,
is it the best song on that movie though?
Well, we're talking original songs, not like.
Oh, you're right.
Jasmine.
I mean, either way, my favorite Rocketman nominated song was there, and it won. So I'm fine.
Been how long since Nathan made a Rocketman reference?
I really need that. We all me and Emma's friends, we all got together for my birthday to watch Rocketman. Like me and her had seen it, but they didn't, and so like we did a stream, and I need to edit that down still. But it was such a fun time.
In other words, Nathan would never do it.
No, they didn't. No, it's not nominated.
Yeah,
I was like, damn it, but
it's okay.
But anyway, no, but I'm conflicted on it because I really, really like Emma Stone, and I love what's her face, Emma Thompson, but I just don't know. Like, I loved how they did Maleficent and how they played her backstory, and I just felt for her. But to me, starting out as a character, she hadn't. I mean, I know she cursed Aurora to sleep for like whatever how many years, but it wasn't terrible. Whereas like this one, I'm like, you're literally trying to get me to sympathize with someone that kills puppies.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know how you're gonna do that. So I'm
interested to grow into killing puppies.
Like, I'm interested to see how the hell they think they're gonna do it. So I am gonna watch it, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't really want a backstory for Quella because she's such a terrible person.
Just feel tragic for the fall. As soon as we get that John Walker prequel,
yeah, Emma then will be on board for 100%.
Yeah, then anything's possible.
I'm the opposite. Like, I didn't love the Maleficent backstory. I felt like they kind of made her too good. They kind of made her like a misguided. Oh, she wasn't evil, guy. She just loved Aurora.
But that's what I liked. They did it like Wicked. No, but she did. They did
it's
it
a
like
new adaptation.
Wicked. And I love Wicked. Like it was just she was very misunderstood.
I need to watch.
Like I don't know.
Is there a way I can watch Wicked, or do I have to? Like I don't know. I listen.
Oh, you can probably find a stream of that somewhere for sure.
Bootleg. Let's go.
It's probably bootleg somewhere. Yeah.
My
it's really good. I've seen it like
on board the soundtrack. I love the soundtrack, but I've just never seen them play.
I haven't heard it.
Oh, it's so good. Yeah. No, if you can find it, you should watch. I've seen it like 3 times. It's really good. But no, so that was like my I don't know. I liked that, but I just don't understand how they're gonna justify.
Yeah, it's gonna be a big.
I don't think they're gonna justify it. I think they're just gonna she's gone.
Yeah,
it's the Joker. She's gone.
Yeah, by saying by her from the beginning saying like she's a little crazy, then we kind of know what we're in for.
I know, but that's so dark for a Disney movie too. Like it's literally the Joker with the female friend.
I don't know. By the end of the movie, they're gonna see a scene where Emma Stone's like, "Hey, cutting fur off of dogs," but yeah.
Well, she doesn't succeed, right? Like Disney never let her succeed.
Did either of you watch Once Upon a Time?
Yes, season 1.
Oh, okay, well, they introduced.
What
does that mean? What does that mean?
Well, it's not watching it.
What? I watched 24 episodes. Somebody told me to watch, hey, Evan, watch 5 seasons of Once Upon a Time. I'm like, okay, cool. I'll get into it. It's 24 episodes per season.
I know. It's a long.
How much time do you think I have?
Isn't Sebastian Stan on Once Upon a Time?
Is he?
I think so.
Sebastian,
he is.
Yeah. He's the Mad Hatter. We love him.
Yes, he is.
That's amazing.
I watched that episode. That's pretty good.
He's also in Gossip Girl.
Oh, I did not watch that. No.
He is.
Will you watch it, Evan?
But they did Corella's backstory in Once Upon a Time too. and she was nuts. Like, it was really terrifying, her backstory.
What season is that? Season 3?
No. 3 is Captain Hook season. Oh.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Depends on how one writes a story from a villain's point of view, where you can at least understand her motive rather than make them an anti-hero in a sense.
Yeah.
Very good. Yeah.
Her life will be so tragic. She's like,
I think Maleficent, they went the anti-hero route, and then hopefully for this one, they just go this straight up. Give us a good crazy one.
Her life is going to be so.
I think that's the only thing they can do. Like, if they go straight up Joker with it, like, to me, that's very dark for a Disney film. But
how do you justify that? How do you justify the murder of puppies?
You can't. That's my thing. That's why I'm so interested to see that they made this movie, because I'm like, you literally, like, I'm sorry, but killing a person, yes, it's bad. But killing a puppy,
what is happening?
Killing a puppy?
You're acting like Cruella's the darkest of the Disney villains. She's easily the most tame Disney villain. This isn't Jafar. This isn't Captain Hook. Like, this is Cruella.
I know, she kills puppies.
Wait, what was Captain Hook? What was Captain Hook's worst thing?
He's a pirate. He's bad, right?
Okay, like, yeah, but he's a Disney pirate.
Sure.
But like, no, I know. Generally speaking, she's not. But I don't know.
Pirates of the Caribbean pirate, like
I would.
You're not Davy Jones.
I know this is terrible, but I would feel worse for a dog getting hit by a car than a human. Okay, I would. I just don't hurt.
Well, we know a lot of we know a lot of humans that suck versus dogs.
Exactly. So, puppies are just pure love. So I just don't see how they can justify it. So I am very, very interested.
Have you checked out the Stephen King story Cujo?
No.
I haven't.
I haven't either, but I know it's a great
Thanks for bringing up that, then.
No, I just know it's an evil dog. So.
Nice.
I've read some of his other stuff, though. I like it. But yeah.
I want to bring up real quick a small bit of casting as well. Russell Crowe is cast in Thor: Love and Thunder as the character rumored to be Zeus. I mean, not even rumored to be. He was on a podcast and he said like he's playing Zeus.
I didn't even know Marvel had a Zeus.
They do. I mean, both the MCU and the DCU have Olympic gods in their mythology.
When I think of Olympic gods, I'm like, yes, DC.
But yeah, there's a character Hercules in the MCU who Hercules is a Avengers member. In a lot of areas.
I love it.
So people were theorizing as soon as this was cast, like, oh, who's going to be Hercules? Because Hercules is a very prominent character in the MCU. He was prominent in the Civil War comic book run.
Dude, if they start bringing in the Greek gods and then they can do a crossover with the Percy Jackson series, I'm here for it.
With all the that'd be amazing.
Oh my god, yeah, because that's on Disney Plus.
I don't want them to taint the Percy Jackson series. Just give me a perfect adaptation, please.
Taint? Hold on.
Fair. 100% fair.
I mean, Sea of Monsters is really.
It would be very, very cool if we got some sort of crossover. Just give me like Hermes flying in and out of the MCU, and
that would be pretty dope.
That would be pretty cool.
Percy Jackson, I'm just so hyped for that.
This feels like the same thing for me of like when I heard that rumor way back when the report came out. I was just like, oh, what? They're developing Big Hero 6 in the MCU? I was like, yeah, give me San Francisco. Let's go.
I love that. I love that.
But Russell Crowe being cast as Zeus is interesting because they cast what's his name? Matt Damon as like fake Thor, like very similar to how he was in Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah,
I assume. So the main villain is Christian Bale, who's playing Gore the God Butcher. His main thing for Thor 4 is that he wants to kill all the gods. My theory being that the gods didn't protect his family when they got snapped away. So my theory is like he's just going to be straight up killing gods in this entire movie. He's going to be looking for, especially Thor, because he's one of the stronger gods. But Zeus, being of God, a god of thunder, not our god of thunder, not our Thor, but a god of thunder. I assume they're going to show Christian Bale fighting Zeus, fighting Russell Crowe, in a very quick scene where Zeus dies.
Man, we're going to have a lot of gods of thunder if we got also Jane wielding Mjolnir.
We have Jane in here too. So yeah, I think this movie's going to be about Christian Bale and Gore the God Butcher just going from world to world, from universe to universe, killing gods.
Truly all.
Is he a giant then? What? How is
he's a, what is he? He's some kind of species that he has control of like this dark necro power.
He's still like
Is he a god? He might be the god of death.
Well, it's interesting
because I know
like,
in
MCU,
Norse
like
mythology, it's the giants that are against them, but they're not really considered like they're not really giants, but that's what they're called.
I mean, it's weird because in the MCU, like Thor is an alien, but like he has these abilities.
Let's see.
Yeah, but like lore, that's what they're and I know there's like the giant of fire who like wields darkness and fire. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think there is a mythology accurate.
What Emma's saying in terms of the Giants, I kind of relate that with Percy Jackson and with the God of War franchise. Like the Giants are always the one that want to kill the gods. In terms of gore, on here it says like he's an unknown alien race with an unnamed planet, but his family is wiped out, and he blames the gods for their failure in protecting his family. And he uses this symbiote that grants him superhuman strength, speed, and dark powers. His main blade is called the Necro Sword, and he uses that to kill gods. So it seemed pretty badass. Like we
didn't have him when their sister was around.
Yeah, I know.
That'll be interesting, though. That's exciting that they cast him as Zeus. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I know. I love Russell Crowe. Russell Crowe's great. I saw him in a bad movie called Unhinged, which was not very good.
That was like the first movie in the opening of theaters.
It is awful. It is bad. Like it is just straight up bad. But Russell Crowe, so I had to see it. And then lastly, I didn't mention it last week, but in terms of casting, Gabriel Luna from Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is cast as Tommy in the Last of Us TV series. Tommy is playing Joel's brother in the Last of Us TV series.
Joel being played by Pedro Pascal.
Being played by Pedro Pascal. So we have Pedro Pascal, who is brothers to Gabriel Luna. From, again, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., he was Ghost Rider there, and he was in Terminator Dark Fate? Yeah, Terminator Dark Fate.
He was good.
He was great. Liked him in that.
Wait, Evan. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yes.
I have not. Okay, I need to like rewatch the series because like I stopped after season 4 because I ran out on Netflix. There weren't any left, and then when they added, I didn't get back. But like, did Ghost Rider ever come back?
No.
That's horrible. I need more. Damn it.
They showed him in flashbacks, but that was like minimal. It's like this is what happened previously if you missed season 4.
Was it reused footage? Like...
Reused footage, yeah. So yeah, then he never came back. He had his mini arc there in season 4 or whatever of Into S.H.I.E.L.D. That was it.
I'm now suddenly thinking about like all the like Tommy moments from Last of Us 2, and just thinking about
Last of Us 2 is a masterpiece. But yeah, Tommy's gonna have some great scenes in Last of Us 1 and 2.
It should also be known that like our longest podcast was with Emma talking about Harry Potter. The second longest we ever had is me and Evan alone talking about the Last of Us 2 video game for over 3 hours.
When I walked into that Last of Us review, I was like, okay, me and Nathan are going to do a short recap. And Nathan, little did I know that Nathan was going to do day 1, 2, 3 for all these characters. But I was happy to oblige because I love the game so much.
We're like an hour and a half in. It's like, yes, Seattle day 2. Damn it.
Oh, it's the best podcast. It was so much fun.
I love that.
It was great. But yeah, I didn't want to miss talking about that because I love Gabriel Luna and I love Last of Us. So, and just today they announced more directors for the Last of Us TV series, and I can't pronounce them. I'm not going to, but there are a lot of international, well-renowned directors going into the show, which is very cool.
I'm here for this further Hispanic developments of characters. First Supergirl, now Last of Us. It's like this is so cool.
Oh yeah. What else? I think that's pretty much it. We talked about Captain America 4. Oh, there's a new directing trio for Spider-Verse 2.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Like the main one is the guy who wrote and directed a lot of stuff from Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Right. One of the people worked on Soul, didn't they?
Yeah, I think his last name was like Thompson or Powell, something like that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, he worked on Soul and One Night in Miami.
Okay.
Which is really cool. I mean, this directing trio, of course, Peter Ramsey, who was part of the directing trio from the first movie, is executive producing, along with Phil Lord and Chris Miller. So we have the old team on board with some new members as well. So this movie, I'm telling you, this is my most anticipated movie of next year. It's like tied with Mission Impossible 7.
Mission Impossible will be good. I'm really excited for the new Fast and Furious movie.
Good.
Oh yeah, we are too.
They're fun. You are allowed to have fun.
They're so fun. They're my guilty pleasure movies for sure. And
we are planning to do
I feel like they should have met with Paul, but they are very fun, and I'm excited that they're back again.
Fast 7 was a perfect ending.
Emma,
I cried tears at the end of Fast 7, big tears.
I cry every time. That song.
I don't cry a lot, but I was bawling in the theater when
I backlogged. I have reactions to 1 through 7, 1 through 8 for the first time.
How?
Because like the Hobbs and Shaw spinoff was coming out, and I was like.
Oh.
I was like, I've never seen these. So I was like, I recorded them. So I got like, they're like years old because again, Hobbs and Shaw was like a couple years ago.
2019.
Yeah. So my plan was like, I was going to release them for this Fast Furious, but then it got pushed a whole year and I was like, great. So
crazy. This was ready last year. Yeah.
Right, so I'm gonna work on that. But yeah, I was definitely bawling at 7. But yeah, Emma, me, Carson, Evan are doing commentary streams for the Fast and Furious films leading up to the
starting next week, right?
Yeah, very exciting.
Presumably, if there's a favorite one you'd like to join or something
besides Hobbs and Shaw.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm still gonna do it.
That's fair.
I'm gonna get Carson at least.
Yeah, no, I'm so down. I think. Maybe anything from like 5 to 7 are my faves. So I'd be happy to hop on any of those ones.
Pretty
same.
And I will definitely tune in for the first one. I think Tokyo Drift's probably my least favorite one. But
it's the one I've seen the least. I've seen like that.
Yeah, I think most people have seen it the least. It's because it's not in the right timeline. It's like Captain Marvel. Like it's just it was weird how they
there's so many Tokyo Drift defenders that I've met. It's insane.
Really?
Yeah.
I like it enough, but I'm just like.
I adore Han, and I'm so glad he's back in the new one. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. That was just my least favorite one for sure. Mm-hmm. But they're all so good. They just get more and more ridiculous, and I'm here for it.
The newest trailer for Fast 9 is just insane.
Okay, but like in was it was 7, right? Where the car jumps the 2 buildings in Dubai. I'm like,
beautiful.
That looks so tame now.
It does, right?
Well, now that they're chasing cars,
aren't they catching cars?
Magnetic planes.
100% here for it. But yeah,
we're going to space.
Every time I watch that scene, I cry without fail, and I love that song so much.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
It's such a great song.
They did it fantastically.
In Fast 8, when The Rock is like turning a nuke on the ice with his bare hands, I'm like, your hand is ripped to shreds right now, dude. But okay.
No, he's The Rock.
No, they always survive.
Yeah,
they're superheroes at this point.
And we got Wonder Woman in these movies, like before she was one. Oh, just so good, fantastic, just fantastic. But
wonder if they'll ever do those crossover plans.
That would be hilarious.
Not with Wonder Woman. Like people are like, like it'd be fun to do like the crossover G.I. Joe or Transformers.
Honestly, I'm here for any crossovers. Give me, I just love when my faves crossover, man.
Yeah.
Just always so good. Also, I just watched Promising Young Woman last week, and it was fantastic.
Hey, that's good because in our finale topics, we discussed what we watched this past week.
Oh, great! Okay, good segue.
Hey, wow, I caught it last week, and it's phenomenal.
It's phenomenal. Oh my god, it was so good.
Emma, if you'd like to lead with stuff you've watched.
Captain, like Winter Soldier and Falcon. What did I watch this week? Shadow and Bone, which technically I saw like 2 weeks ago, but it came out today.
Are all the episodes out?
They're all out, yeah. And I highly, highly recommend. Fantastic. Nathan, I think you'd really enjoy it. There's a lot of really fantastic characters to love.
My timeline has been Shadow and Bone ever since the show was announced, and it's a book series I have on Amazon that I've always been having on my watch list. I've always wanted to read it because it had like a lot of Raylo vibes apparently.
Yes, it does. If you like Raylo,
Dark Lena, I'm like, I need this. So I'm very excited to watch it. I'm super excited. And Ben Barnes is great.
Oh, I love Ben Barnes. Ever since Narnia. just my child. Also, he's my
Gaku's in
choice for
Narnia.
Sirius Black for Marauders. Yeah, fantastic. Really, really good show. I would recommend watching it before you read the books. Personally, I read
That's
the
how
book.
I always do it. Yeah.
And I enjoyed it, but it's like a really good adaptation. It's like Harry Potter 1 and 2. It follows the books almost to a T. So really well done. I was super happy with it. And you guys
How many of the books does the first season cover?
Just one.
Oh, cool. Sweet.
Yeah, so it's just Shadow and Bone. However, the author has written multiple series all in the same universe. So
that's confusing.
Shadow and Bone is her first series. It's a 3-book series. And then the second book series in the same universe is called Six of Crows, and it's a duology. And so what they did was combine
the two of them.
What?
Duology as in there's 2 of them?
2 books, yeah.
2 books.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what they did was combine the 2, but because Shadow and Bone takes place first, and then Six of Crows is like years later after the story. So they made up prequels for the Six of Crows characters. So I hadn't read the Six of Crows books yet, so I was very happy to meet those characters and learn their backstories first on screen, and then read the Six of Crows books, which was really cool. And I love them. They're my children. Nathan, I think you will absolutely fall in love with them.
So have you read all the books?
I've only read the first Shadow and Bone and the first Six of Crows.
Okay.
So I'm making my way through both of them.
I don't want to get emotionally involved in this emotional relationship, and I'm just like, if it is an end game or if it isn't,
I can tell you. Do you want me to tell you?
No, don't say anything.
I don't want to know.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I just like I want my dream to be shattered or completed as I read.
Look, I had to rewrite.
Then I will say nothing.
I took my favorite franchise. I had to rewrite a whole ending to have a satisfaction. Do I have to do this here? Like,
Star Wars. Don't give her hints. I don't want to.
Yeah, no. But like,
if you want me to tell you, I will.
Cut to me in 5. Cut to me like age 30. I'm just like, here we go again.
Yeah. I will say though, the series is almost 10 years old. So if you don't want spoilers,
really?
I would be very, very careful.
Now I know I'm reading this summer. Jesus.
In terms of that ending. But yeah, really, really good series. Super well done. So I did watch that, and then Promising Young Woman, which was phenomenal.
Thoughts on the ending?
For it at the Oscars. What?
Thoughts on the ending of Promising Young Woman? Did you like it? It's a controversial ending. Most people didn't like it.
Yeah, it was complicated.
Spoilers, real quick, guys. Spoilers for Promising Young Woman.
Yes, spoilers. I was bummed that she died. I really, really wish that the author didn't do that. However, I think it's what would have happened, and I'm not happy. I'm not happy with it because it left me like
cold.
Controversial statement here, but I enjoyed 13 Reasons Why. I know. I'm sorry to everyone else. I actually did. However,
season 1 is good.
Yeah, fantastic. But
it gets
season 2
ridiculous. But yeah,
season 2 though, absolutely gutted me with what they did with that ending. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but it was what would have happened in real life, and I hated it.
What happened in season 2?
But it would have happened.
I don't care if you spoil it.
So season 2 is Bryce's trial.
Oh yeah, he walked.
So
wait, he gets away?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Because he's rich and white, Evan.
White man.
Wow, damn.
And it's horrible because
that's why.
And I knew as a girl, I knew watching that season what was going to happen, and I was hoping and hoping and hoping that they wouldn't do it, and they did because that's what would happen in real life.
And then he dies in season 3.
Yeah, it's a murder mystery.
Oh wait, he did die?
Yeah, he did.
I was kidding. Oh wow, wait. So
thank God. But yeah, so it was so to me that was the same as Promising Young Woman, because watching it as a girl, I was like, well, I know what's going to happen, and then I was hoping that they wouldn't do it, and they went with reality instead of like giving it to the protagonist. So I mean, I was happy that, you know, she had the forethought, which I think most girls would, that this is going to happen. So she put everything in place and it ended up well. But I was really bummed that
me too.
I hated that.
broke.
I saw it in theaters. Yeah, I saw it in theaters, and like Nathan, it broke my heart. It left me cold. The audience is like stunned. Like people are looking around, like she's gonna get right back up, right? Like she has this plan, right? Something's not really happening here.
I was literally thinking, I was just like, just fake that you're dead, please. Just
I thought she was faking. I'm like, she's totally faking, right?
I was like, just stop moving, please. But like, move later.
God.
And it hurts so bad when like Bo Burnham's character.
Oh God.
That reveal. Oh, that hurt. Oh no. I think everybody in the audience is like, no, because he's
so painful. But it was painful. It was heartbreaking because the way that they wrote it was literally just reality for so many of us, and it was terrible. It was because you hope that the good guy wins in the end, which is why I love Avengers, because I know going into it, my heart's never going to be broken.
Unless you watch Infinity War.
Well,
there was, but it ended fine. So, that was tough to go through. And it was the same way I felt with 13 Reasons Why season 2. I was like, because I know, as a girl, I know. It's just...
That's crazy. I never knew. I always heard like there was multiple seasons of 13 Reasons Why, but I never knew what happened.
4.
There's 4 seasons.
There's fucking 4.
Yeah. I haven't actually seen the 4th one. I've seen 1, 2, and 3. 1 is the best by far, and I really honestly wish they had left it at 1.
Evan, I watched these hilarious guys that do commentaries. They watched all 4 seasons because they're actually like, they find it like by the later half when it's like less heavy and gets more ridiculous, they're just like having a blast. I've been sending you those because you're just gonna have like plenty of a great time and you're gonna get the story.
I need to, yeah. I did not know like this guy went to trial, he died. Like, what is this? Is crazy.
1 is great. 2 is tough to watch, especially if you're a girl, but it's good. 3, I hated it. It was terrible. It was ridiculous, and it was stupid. So I really didn't want to watch season 4. And then I heard what happened, so I was like, okay, now I'm just even more sad in my feels. So
but yeah, Promising Young Woman is currently like I still have to watch some of the other Best Picture nominees, but it's my pick to win Best Picture and Best Actress.
I haven't watched
Best Actress too. Please.
I hope. Yeah, I'm rooting for her. I haven't watched all of them either. My faves that I've seen are Trial of the Chicago 7 and Promising Young Woman. I think there was one more.
I would say, Nathan.
Other than Promising Young Woman, I've also seen Judas and the Black Messiah, and that was wonderful. It was just sad because it's history, but like it was just executed so well.
Revolutionary.
Yeah.
I would say Promising Young Woman and Minari for me. The Nomadland third, I think. Yeah. It's a great list.
I forgot that the Oscars were this weekend.
Yeah, it's gonna be easily the lowest rated people. And it was funny, like I saw this news article saying like the Oscars are this Sunday, and the comments were like just trashy. I'm like, people really have it out for the Oscars for some reason. I love the Oscars every season. It gets lower and lower ratings. I don't care. I feel like they do a good job nominating some of the best films of the year. It might not be blockbusters or these big popular movies, but I feel like these are great movies that are always nominated, mostly great. Like 7 out of 9 of them or 8 out of 9 of them are usually great movies.
Every year, so you're like, why can't they just get the full 10 nominations?
Exactly. I mean, some years you get freaking what was it, the Bohemian Rhapsody, or Green Book, or whatever. But other years they're mostly great.
I usually vibe more with the Emmy nominations and the Golden Globe nominations than the Oscars. But yeah, they shed a light on some good films.
Emmys more so than
Golden Globe. More progress for sure. But I did find it funny that I forgot, and I'm someone that watches it every year because it's like just cool to see and to see those movies and whatnot. But yeah, I literally forgot it was happening this year. I was shocked. I don't think they've done a lot of marketing for it this year either. I don't think they've really.
Yeah, I haven't seen people talk about it. Which is crazy because it's unfortunate because a lot of people couldn't go to the movies to watch these movies anyways, even though a lot of them are streaming. It was just very difficult for people to know about what's going on. Like there was no big phenomenon like La La Land in 2016, or each year there's always that one big movie. Parasite was that last year. 1917 last year. People knew about a lot of the Best Picture stuff. And even then, it was still the lowest rated Oscars. So
Yeah.
doesn't matter. I'm gonna have fun watching it. I think Nomadland's gonna win Best Picture. I think Nomadland's very well done as well.
This is into a subtopic of the Oscars.
Yeah, I know.
Sorry.
I haven't seen much. Real quick, I did see this movie on Netflix last week called The Invitation, directed by Karen Kusama. It's a horror thriller on Netflix in which this guy and his wife go to visit his ex-wife's house because she is having a dinner party.
That's gonna go well.
And it does not go well. It is fantastic. It's a great thriller told from this guy's perspective and what's going on in this guy's head. Something tragic happened to him and his ex-wife in the past. That's why she's having this dinner party to say she's back and she's recovering. She's with her new boyfriend and what has she been doing in the past? So it is a great horror thriller. Loved it. Loved the ending. It is phenomenal. So watch The Invitation. Again, if you're not a huge horror, like scary person kind of person, this is a good thriller. It's not too like over the top or anything. It's just a good, tame thriller. Love it.
Perfect. Okay.
Nathan, what about you, buddy?
Well, even though it's out today, I got to watch it early on Wednesday because I work at a theater. I saw the new Mortal Kombat.
Oh, exciting. I've heard a lot of hype about this. I have no idea what it is. It's a video game? Is it a video game?
Yes, it's a video game. You don't know anything about Mortal Kombat?
No.
Don't do that.
I've heard the name and I've seen people unboxing some things with a knife and a giant cake. I don't know. That's
awesome.
That was the press kit that was sent out. It was a big box with a knife and you got to hammer it, and it was like a chocolate thing with a heart in it that looked like the heart Emilia Clarke eats in Game of Thrones. I don't know. It was a whole thing. But
Adam got that for WandaVision. Okay. So I saw it. Stick with me, because okay. So it was interesting. I enjoyed it quite a bit. What?
That sounds like it's not a good review. It was.
I know. Yeah. Hey guys, stick with me.
No, yeah, because the way I'm gonna explain it, they're gonna be like, well, "This doesn't sound great." But I'll be like, "No, well, let me tell you why it is." I enjoyed it quite a bit. I can also see an interesting point of view. This is not gonna be spoilers anyway. I can see an interesting point of view because like it's a rated R movie on like a $95 million budget versus like 2 or 3 times that we see from a general blockbuster. So there's like the great looking, the effects look great. They're just like a lot more like limited in a sense. They're like not as like often.
Right.
So it feels like it's a lot more tame than what you expected, like especially if like you're a player of the Mortal Kombat games, and it's just like where you're constantly action and moving. But also it's kind of interesting because it feels like it has like that more like tight space that you're watching this action in, like you're stuck in an arena at a certain place playing the game, kind of.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, so I feel like if it's done well and they get a bigger budget for the sequel, they're probably going to go out like even more, and it's going to be like, wow, whoa. But there's like a lot of like cool stuff in here. There's a lot of great like effects, fatalities. Like if you don't like gore, don't watch it. It's a Mortal Kombat movie.
The fight sequences are good.
Yeah, good fight sequences. Radar helps for like driving home the points of the action.
Yeah. How's the tournament of it all? Because like I heard it's the Mortal Kombat is like a tournament thing, right?
Yeah, it's a type of turn. Basically, it's weird because like I also like before this I watched the considered very bad adaptations from the 90s of the 2 Mortal Kombat
the
movies.
1995 one is bad.
Well, that's the first one, and it's better than the second one.
I've never seen the second one. I've only seen the first one.
You don't have to. Half the people are recast, and it's dumb.
It's weird. I saw Mr. Sunday Movies did a video on the second one. I was like, whoa, this is what it looks like? But yeah, the first one is...
It's weird. The first one's fun for like its time frame because... And it's weird. What's weird is like the first one feels like it's more grand than this one because they're like... They go for it, even though they do not have the budget for it or the effects at the time, but they go for it. It's like, wow. But here I can appreciate like this build-up they have and stuff. You follow like this new character named Cole Young who isn't in the games. But I like the like ties he has in this franchise and like existing characters too. Like Scorpion is really cool, and so is Sub-Zero. And my favorites, who are actually like pretty main character-esque in the games anyway, is characters of Liu Kang, who's like the dude dressed in the white gi with like the fire fist, and Kung Lao, and he has like this like blade hat. They're like my favorites of like all these fighters. I want to spin off of them if I can get it, because they're just so fun. I love to watch them on screen, and I really like the stuff they're setting up. I think the development of the characters from the games, like I'm not just like super deep into the games. I'm actually starting to get into it more, but from what I've seen, I thought it was a pretty good execution. I think it's a really fun time. Again, I want to see it again. I know it's on HBO Max, but I'm gonna like try to see it on the big screen again. I probably will watch it at home as well. I want to see it again, and I want more. So I think that's a good sign.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like if people are gonna have any flack for it, it's probably just gonna be like it may feel like a little limited in places of just like, again, like it's grand scale, but again, it's a low budget R-rated movie. So for what they're getting, and they're like under 2 hours, I think it's pretty solid. A good video game adaptation.
Good to know.
Good adaptations are always good. We like that.
Evan's gonna come back next week and just be like, "What the fuck are you talking about? You see what they did?"
We shall see.
Nah, I would only do that if it was a book. I'm excited. I'm excited that you guys are excited for Percy Jackson, though, because then we can definitely talk about that in the future.
Oh my gosh, yes. One of the best book series of all time. Percy Jackson better than Harry Potter?
I mean, which one has blue Coca-Cola?
I would give you that, Evan.
I think the book series definitely is.
Yeah. I honestly would. I know. I adore Harry Potter, and I always
mainly because I'm including like Percy Jackson is just more material. Because it has like.
Okay, I would include that if it includes Percy plus Heroes of Olympus.
That's what I'm thinking too. I'm including Heroes of Olympus. Yeah, which is phenomenal.
Yeah. I'm on a podcast. Okay. I'll come talk to you after. I agree. I think if it includes Heroes of Olympus, just because it's so much more diverse and there's so much more storytelling and
epic stuff happens in Heroes vs. Olympus, especially the end of Mark of Athena. Oh,
yes! So good.
One of the best endings of all time.
I still have to read the Apollo series.
Me too. Wow, twins. Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah. Because I heard I tried reading Magnus Chase and I couldn't get into it, which I was a little bummed about because like
is that the Viking one?
So that's the Norse gods one.
Norse gods, yeah.
But I am going to read Apollo because first of all we know Apollo from the previous series and that's cool. But also I've heard that they like you see Percy and Co in that one throughout.
Yeah, and Jason apparently too.
Yeah. So I'm very excited for that. So I'm thrilled that Rick is finally involved with this adaptation because the movie was just absolutely atrocious. So I'm very, very, very excited for it.
Yeah.
We'll be hyped. But Shadow and Bone, really good adaptation. Oh, and I also watched The Circle this week.
I've seen some of The Circle, and it's
I need to start watching The Circle.
It's weird because I'm like, I don't really stand for these concepts, but this is.
I know. Okay, but I'm not a reality TV person either. I like the gamified reality TV.
Well, I can do reality because like I'm like hooked on watching like Old Hell's Kitchen stuff right now.
Okay, yeah,
but like their whole concept is like social media stats and stuff, and I'm like, okay, but then I'm watching it, I'm like, but who is gonna leave? Like,
good. I really enjoyed season 1. And I'm loving this season. It's hilarious. There's a lot more drama this season for sure, but it's a really good series.
Yeah, I need to get into it.
Yeah, I feel like you'd probably like it if you like Big Brother.
People keep telling me like I'd love the series. I'm like,
I think you would really like it. Yeah, if you start watching it, let me know. You can.
I might watch episode 1 tonight. You never know. But I can watch Shadow and Bone. Oh my gosh, so much TV.
Well, I mean, the good thing is all of these are like Netflix, so they're not 24 episodes. So
Evan, you got a week break before we gotta talk bad. You got 2 weeks.
That's true.
Or maybe a week and a half. It's May 4th. When are they dropping those?
It's on May 4th, on the Tuesday of May 4th, and then it's on Friday as well for Bad Batch.
Will it be that same Friday?
Yes.
Okay, so 2 in a week?
Yep, I think so.
Okay.
So you get some time. You get some time.
Yeah. Oh, Evan, I'm halfway through Demon Slayer.
Oh, yes. Kimetsu no Yaiba. Yeah, it's a great series.
It's an anime, I'm assuming.
Yeah,
I can't
it
speak
is Kimetsu no Yaiba is Demon Slayer. I've always
Yeah.
gone by Kimetsu no Yaiba. Sounds better than Demon Slayer.
Well, I am watching it subbed. It was the first anime I've ever done for a show.
Okay, that's exciting.
Wait. First anime? What are you talking? You've watched other anime before?
Yeah, but it's like I've seen like Weathering with You, and I watched that subbed. But like I mean like
Oh, for TV?
of an episodic, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought you've watched like My Hero, haven't you?
Yeah, well, yeah, I've nearly finished season 1 of My Hero, but I'm watching it with like the English dub because I'm reacting.
Oh,
I just want to like.
I didn't know you were doing dub for My Hero.
And I know. Shut up. I like them. I like the actors.
Can't watch dubs. Oof.
It's
rough.
And it's funny. I grew up watching dubbed for like my first anime, Naruto, and like Naruto, Yu-Gi-Oh, Beyblade. Like those I watched dubbed on Cartoon Network.
It's a very controversial subject. I'm aware.
Well, I think probably if you're a kid, you can't like.
Exactly right. It wasn't part of my thing. Yeah, I started watching subbed like in 2007. I think. Like I was going to high school.
Yeah, subtitles are just so much better. Yeah.
So here's my case. I started watching it subbed because we're currently screening the Demon Slayer movie in theaters. We do have both available, but like what I was trying to do is like Thursday night they were having like for like one night they were playing it in our IMAX, our biggest auditorium, and it was basically like sold out. And I wanted to be like, oh my god, it'd be so cool to go with fans because I do audience reactions as well, and I was like, that'd be a cool thing to do because like it was outselling Mortal Kombat. It was so popular. Everyone's been dying like, when is it going to release? And I was like, this is interesting. Maybe I can binge them all before then because they're only like 20 minutes per episode, give or take. And I was like, yeah, I can lock that in. And I tried, but then I didn't get enough sleep. And then I was like trying, and I was like, I could physically do this, and I would end up having to watch like the final episode like on my phone as I'm sitting in the theater right before. But I could technically make it. However, I would be so drained and like bobbing like in and out of existence. I was just like, it was 2 p.m. on Thursday, and I was like, and then I canceled my ticket and I went to sleep.
Yeah, Demon Slayer hooked me. Like it came out fall 2019. I heard a lot of buzz for it. My brother's watching before me, and when it hit episode 19 was trending in America, and I'm like, whoa. Like people are talking about this all over the world.
I'm on 14 right now. What the hell?
So yeah, episode 19, dude. Just okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna say anything. If you cry off of Falcon and Winter Soldier, you're gonna be crying episode 19.
What the hell?
But so what's it called? I binged like 19 episodes in 1 week. Then I watched the rest of the series live as it came on. And then I read the entire manga over like last summer. So I read the entire story, and it ended like as like I finished reading it. So I watched like the last chapter. Controversial ending, but that's what always happens. But overall, I love this entire story. I love this manga, this anime. So very exciting. Season 2 is coming out this fall. So I'm very excited. It's finally airing in America. At least the movie is.
It's such
I'm seeing it later on. I guess today now. It's 12 o'clock. But
it's such a cool concept of a show because like they're like
great concept. They're
going around like hunting demons, and like the primary concept of the show is that like his sister, his whole family got taken out, but his sister is alive, but she's a demon, but he's trying to turn her back into human.
Yeah.
And at the same time, he also trained to join the Demon Slayer Corps, and he's like a demon slayer, and like where I'm at right now, I'm just like, wow, it's just like it's a lot of cool action and stuff and animation, but also this man, his like emotional self is like he's like praying for the demons because like they were once people, and it's like, oh my god, this is profound.
Yeah, he's a compassionate person because demons aren't not like zombies. Like they have like a human. They used to be human. Most of them did. So it's like, wow, these people like actually have a heart and soul. So he's very compassionate towards them, but also he knows what he has to do. He has to defeat them in order to survive, while also trying to protect his sister.
The last one I was watching is like there's this demon that has like these like bongos on him and changes his like house outlet. Yeah. And like he took him down, but then like he like complimented like his
your skills.
His skills, yeah, and like the demon was just like he was like shriveling away, and he was like, "It's like you really think it was like good?" Like I was like, "What the fuck? Why is this so emotional?"
And for the villains are fantastic. Like the villain for this upcoming movie, I'm seeing tomorrow. there's a villain in this movie who is my favorite character in the entire series. From I don't want to review anything, but he's just my favorite character in the entire series, bar none. The villains, each great villain gets an awesome backstory. That's revealed.
He's following this one villain right now, like dressed in all white.
In the woods.
I don't know. It's like this dude who's like has like control over other demons. Like
yeah. He's
that's a very
like Michael Jackson.
Design. Yeah, I was like, why is this Michael Jackson?
Yeah, he's a Michael Jackson demon.
What a concept.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's famous for looking like Michael Jackson. But his backstory is very interesting as well. So each of the villains get an emotionally packed backstory that I just love, and that's the beauty of the series. Each hero gets a backstory. Each villain gets a single backstory, which makes you relate and sympathize with every single character. And I can't wait to see this movie tomorrow. I'm so hyped.
That's so exciting.
Maybe by next week we can both like equally review it. But yeah, I think that will allow us to do it.
Yeah.
For our podcast today. So with that being said, Evan, where can they find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter at HarrisEV9. I won't be talking about Big Brother Canada today or this weekend because they shut off the live feed for some stupid twist. And I'm like, they're alienating their fans. It's stupid. So I have to wait till Monday for the live feeds to come back on for Big Brother Canada. Besides that, I graduate grad school on Thursday. So by the time we do this, thank you guys so much. But by the time we do this next podcast, I'll be a free man. So I'm very excited. I have a lot of work to do this weekend, but I'm excited to get through the last of this grind. Can we start Shadow and Bone? I've heard everybody talking about it, so I might watch a couple episodes this weekend. And like we've just been talking about, Demon Slayer, I'm watching that tomorrow in theater. So very exciting stuff ahead.
Awesome. Emma, where can they find you?
Yeah, so you guys can find me at FanCity Central TV on Instagram, FanCity TV on Twitter, FanCity Central on YouTube. And I have some upcoming Harry Potter unboxings, which will be coming out shortly. And I'm here to fangirl over any TV shows you like, especially the Shadow and Bone, because that just came out. It's very good.
Awesome. Carson, where can they find you?
I'm in Arkansas. I don't know why I sound like you were there.
You sound just like him.
I'm just thinking about how, like, last episode we were just like, he's eating a burrito alive, and like, just like so unprofessional. It's amazing.
Nice.
We were like I was snacking on like some Skittles, and he was eating a burrito, and Evan was done talking, and he was like, "What the fuck?"
It was so awkward.
And then he didn't even show up to this podcast. What a professional you are, Carson.
He now holds the world record for being late.
Yeah.
He's gonna walk this back like, what the hell? But yeah, you can find me here and everywhere. You know, all our stuff linked in the description below. I don't care about plugging anymore. That being said, but yeah, with that being said, if you enjoy our podcast, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe if not already. And that being said, I hope you have a great day, and may the force be with you always.